clear night, screens glowing blue. Got the facts in my headlights. Commonwealth tripping, but the truth stay calm. Morrissey and Lally, I'ma read them like Psalms. KP throwing shade from a broke down porch, but the files in my lap like a flame to a torch. I don't raise my voice, I just let the game speak. Steady with the grind while the crooked run weak. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just ride a slow grind. Midnight oil burning, pen hit the pad slow. Every word cut clean like the rims on the 6-4. From Boston to Brockton, the whispers all hum. Turtle boys riding in the reckoning gon' come. Lally in the back room, Morrissey on the phone. Trying to twist the narrative, but they can't postpone. I'm just sipping on the facts while the city play pretend. Truth got no curfew, I'ma run it to the end. See, this ain't about fame, this about that long game. You can duck, you can weave, but the truth still call your name. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, gliding. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, guys. We just all down to the city blocks. We just riding slow, guys.
Welcome to the Weekend Live Show.
508 is where I'm from.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. Let us know in the comments right now where you reppin'.
Hatchet Junction, Taunton, Worcester, Long Island, Manchard, South Florida, Webster, Malden, Framingham, Tucson, Billerica, Salem, Gloucester, Moosop, Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina, Roslindale, Moosop, Connecticut, London, Hanson, Glendale, Arizona, Lynn, Mapleville, Quincy.
Food stamps, leave your clothes, buddy, and then we're scooping up the
funny ass guy, man.
Have you ever heard of Turtleboy? Yeah? Are you a fan?
508 is where I'm from.
Hey, what's up?
508 is where I'm from.
How was that?
You a freaking idiot. Stop telling people that I'm mentally deranged and stupid.
Call me Aidan. He's not a doctor, but...
Get out of my store, please.
You're a fucking loser.
You are a loser.
You're not a journalist. You're nobody.
You're not turtle hair. Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
NFL on the house, blog that.
Let's get this party started.
Yo, what's up, people? How's everyone out there doing tonight? Good? Good, excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Aidan Kearney. I'm the host of this here program. You can call me a variety of nicknames if you'd like, up to and including A. Timothy Kearney. That's my true crime name. You can call me Journalism Jesus. It's my spiritual name. You can call me, what else can you call me? You can call me Uncle Turtle Boy, old school turtle writers call me that. You can call me, a lot of people just call me Turtle Boy. That'll do. Or Turts, or Teebs, or Turtle Dove, or, I prefer Dr. Turtle Boy because if Judd Welch is a doctor, then so am I. It's my preferred pronoun of choice. You can call me that. You can call me Daddy if you like. Some people find that weird. Others find it fun, flirtatious, playful, all sorts of sexy even, You can call me different kinds of daddy if you'd like. You can call me crowd daddy, theater daddy, brow daddy, daytime daddy, drama daddy, formerly drama-free daddy, media daddy, saint daddy, and of course, Fridge Daddy. All right, or any appliance, whatever appliance is lying around the kitchen, because I will fix it. I just got to shake it real hard. Doesn't matter. I don't care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. sharp, and make sure you smash that subscribe button for me. And we'll be here, and we're gonna have a great time. So go ahead and do that. All right. Welcome to all the Rumble Rats out there. All 16 of you watching over there. Nice to see you. Love you guys. Keeping it real. But yeah. Why does it say Turtleboy Store? I don't know. Sometimes I'm logged in as this account. It's just I don't know. Can I change that? I don't want to be Turtleboy Store. Hold on. Can I change that? Let me see. Visual effects, audio, camera. Nope. General. Show high resolution badge on the stage display. Informative messages. Okay, I don't know what any of that means. What's this? Dark. No, I don't like that. Light. Okay. What about layouts? Nope, we don't want that. I don't know. We'll figure it out another time. But anyway, that's that. So yeah, welcome guys. Oh, thanks. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you guys like the clock behind me too? My buddy Matt made that for me. He's the TV guy. Does a lot of great stuff. Great handyman. That's an awesome gift. It's an actual functioning clock. It I'm gonna have it on all day tomorrow, guys. All day tomorrow from 12 to 12. Because if you don't know, tomorrow's a big day. Turtleboy Mega Fundraiser for the Mega Motion to Dismiss. We know the Mega Motion to Dismiss was not heard as planned because life happens. So, but the Mega Motion for the fundraiser must continue. The show must go on. And we're looking forward to that tomorrow. So 12 to 12, again, we have an awesome lineup. Somebody send me this graphic. Let me see if I have it here. Where'd it go? Yeah, here it is. Download. Okay. What this one? All right, check this out. Mega Fundraiser, love it. The Mega Fundraiser from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. Aidan Kearney's fight against corruption, absolutely. And then here's the lineup. As of right now, we might add some more people on. Okay, I don't know how updated this was, but I haven't really looked at it. I haven't analyzed it to make sure it's all right. But what do we got here? We got 12:30 to 2 tomorrow. We're having on. So I'm starting at 12. Okay, my first guests are going to be the Brothers Council, Solomon and Martin Radner at 12:30. At 1 o'clock, I'm going to be joined by a fellow by the name of Mike. Don't call me Michelle Bryant. He's going to join us at the same time at 1 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, we're going to have Loophole Lawyer, Vince from Loophole Lawyer, and Samantha Benigno on. That should be fun and interesting. At 3 o'clock, we have Melanie Little and attorney David Yannetti. And that's going to be must-see TV. It's going to be great. They're going to hopefully be joined at 4 o'clock by friend of the show, Mazza Media, great supporter, Kelsey Fitzsimmons, Turtle Boy, if you will, at 4:30, as some have dubbed him. 4:30, we have The Broken Baker, always a pleasure with him, along with Rebecca Lavoie, and she's my token lesbian friend. And no, that's Mel. Mel's my token lesbian friend. Rebecca's straight. She's not a lesbian. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's actually a beautiful thing. And so Rebecca and Mel are going to be here at 4:30. And then at 6 o'clock, right now we have Andrea Burkhart and Linda Kenny Baden. They're going to be here. Both attorneys. Going to be looking forward to, we have specific topics I want to talk to them about. 7 to 8, things get a little fun. We're going to have Jessica Machado on. It's always a pleasure when she's here, always, with the besties. And from 8 to 9, we're going to go a little pop culture hour there with Donna Bowling, and Billy Bush is going to be joining us from 8 to 9. Okay. From 9 to 10, we're going to have the great Emily C. and Auntie Deb, and also going to be joining us from the 9 to 10 hour. We're going to have attorney Nick Rakita is going to be he's going to be joining us since he has a rapport with Nick. He's been on his program before. I try to match people up with people they've met before, are familiar with. So we're going to have Nick on at 9 o'clock as well. Rackets from 10 o'clock. This is when things get interesting. Okay. And we're going to have the Glarer, Maga Barbie, Erica Walsh, and Dina are going to join me. Starting at 10. Okay. Then later on, we're going to filter in more and more people. Okay. And we might have like a Brady Bunch situation by the end, but that's okay because it's a long fucking day. And that includes attorney Amy Amelia is going to be joining us around 10:30 with Tommy DeRosia. Then we got the other Mary B. We got MC Kazi G. We got the legend, the other reason for the season. That would be Ray from Dallas. Also, going to be joining us too. We're going to Chat Rat himself, King Chat Rat. We're going to have Danny from Rat House Media is going to join us as well. And my friend the Druid, David the Druid, who's been with us forever. He used to kind of co-host my show sometimes too. He's going to be joining us, and so is the Sparkly Rabbit. So she's going to be joining us as well. So the last hour is going to be a free-for-all. It's going to be like, that's when things are going to get spicy. But I mean, this is a lineup, dude. This is quite, and like still the wild card of the Matas, the Mata wild card. They could, we'll see if we can get them on. But I don't think Nurse Kim's got served. I don't know. I think she's in Bermuda. The other one was Runkle. I think he's camping in the middle of nowhere. So that's going to be a tough one. But either way, man, this is a fucking cast, bro. This is it. This is the lineup. This is the greatest fundraising lineup ever assembled, I want to say. And, it's just so awesome. People are like, where's Runkle and the Bailey? Bro, I just talked about that. I literally just said that. Maybe even Flipperhead. Maybe, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how crazy things get. We'll see how crazy things get. So I'm looking forward to this, man. This is a fun, positive night. And I don't have a plan. I have no plan. I mean, you don't think I can bullshit for 12 hours? You don't think I can talk about my case for 12 hours with all these different kind of people? It's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. So if that's true, if Runkle's camping trip got canceled, I'd love to have him on. I can reach out to him. I think a good fit for him would be the 6 o'clock hour with Andrea and Linda Kenny Bodden. I think that would be a good matchup for them. But because I try to match people up that are like, have similar vibes to them. I feel like the Brothers Council and Mike Bryan have similar vibes. I feel like obviously Loophole Lawyer and Samantha Benigno are a team. I feel like when I got Yannetti, I'm like, well, I want Melanie Little with him. Obviously, that's got to be the matchup right there. Got to be. And I'm like, well, how do I fit Mazza in? Where would Mazza go in? And I'm like, I think if we add him as a supplement to that time, like, Mazza's like the guy that comes in and he's like the closer, you get him in there and he closes out the Melanie Little, David Yannetti hour. And then you got, Broken Baker has a good vibe. I mean, he could go with anyone, but I feel like Mel and Rebecca would be a nice little matchup there since they're fond of him. And, attorneys, Andrea and Linda Kenny Bodden would be a good matchup. And I think Runkle would fit in well there if he came on. So with the Matas, I mean, who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? I mean, Jess Machado, I think she kind of is better off alone. I think she'd be a good solo. She got her own hour there. And, Billy and Donna are, that was a natural one. Emily C and Auntie Deb, obviously. And since Rakita knows Jimmy and he's been on with them, I think that'd be a good matchup. And then, the Glaire's my guy, obviously. And so, I feel like the 10 o'clock out, really the content creators start at 9. That's really when the content creators start. And then, by 10, like that's when I want Will on to kind of, Will's the fundraiser guy. He's my dude. He's loyal as fuck. We all love Will around here. And Will's been put through a lot of shit. Actually, you know who isn't on the list, but I'm going to invite her anyway. We need to let bygones be bygones. I'm going to call her right now. See if she answers.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hey, man, it's your old friend Aidan, Turtleboy here, the guy that you're a big fan of, and you are going to have my back to the end of time and help me fight corruption. Well, guess what? Tomorrow afternoon, all day, we are going to be fighting corruption against the corrupt Commonwealth all day. And I know that you said that you need to keep showing up, Nan, and I think it's time you got to show up. Tomorrow is a big day. We need to, I know you're against corruption. I know you're against this corrupt Commonwealth and the state police and all the people who fucked with Karen Reed, right? And I know that I was an inspiration for the Daily Blaze, which needs to come back, by the way. We got to talk about bringing back the Daily Blaze, right? So I know that we've had our differences there, and I said this stuff about the skin and that you were fat like 10 minutes ago and all that stuff, right? But I say let bygones be bygones. Let's reunite again. Tomorrow will be a great day to reunite. Let's put the Nan back together, the band back together. Let's put the Nan back in the band, okay? I think tomorrow's the day. And I think you got a lot of fans here, Nan. We got a lot of Nan fans here. And, closet Nan fans. They're like, I think they're like a little upset with you, a little bit, because of all the weird shit you've been doing. But like, fuck it. Life is short. Don't worry. Larry Foreman's not going to be there. He's in Norway. So I know he made that post about you, but he's not going to be here. Don't worry about him. Okay. It's going to be dope. Unfortunately, your other friends can't, like Twisted Tragedy. She can't come. It's just too, she's too poor, like, to be honest with you. So it's like, we can't have no migrant hotel visitors or anything like that. So yeah, just give me a call back when you get this, Nan. And your boyfriend, New Hampshire. Oh, she hung up. Okay. I think it's a 2-minute thing. All right. Anyway, I will see if she calls back. Okay. So I don't know. Oh, Jim Altman. We got to call Jim too. Let's call Jim. We're going to bury the hatchet with everyone tonight. Tonight's the night we bury the hatchet with everyone. Fuck it. Tomorrow's a day of joy. That's why we're going to have a great time. Jim Altman. Let's call.
You've reached Jen. I'm not able to come to the phone, so leave me a message and I'll call you back. Thanks. Have a great day.
Hi, Jim. This is Aidan from Turtleboy calling. I'm just calling to see if tomorrow you want to reunite because I remember. Oh, it ended. Did she hang up on me? Maybe it was that bad connection.
Hi there. You've reached Jen.
What? You?
Hi there. You've reached Jen.
What? Bad connection. Oh, it's ringing.
Hi there. You've reached.
Oh, it hung up. I'm texting her. Bad connection? Oh, man. I'll FaceTime her. Fuck it. Call again. She didn't answer. Let's try my burner phone. I don't think I'm going to call on my burner. *67. Okay. What's her number? Call her up. Bad connection. Maybe that line is just having some issues. I'll try a different line.
there, you've reached Jen. I'm not able to come to the phone, so leave me a message and I'll call you back. Thanks. Have a great day.
Hi, Jen. I'm sorry. I guess we had a bad connection on the other line. Sorry we got cut off there, but I just wanted to let you know that you are officially invited back. Oh, she hung up. Come on. She's mad about the transgender shooter thing. She was real mad about the transgender shooter thing. Like real mad about the transgender theory. Like, it's not, you kind of look like the transgender shooter. I'm just saying. That wasn't like, it's not, I didn't say you were the transgender shooter. I said you look like the transgender shooter. Okay. And that's just an observation that I was making because you both have like broad shoulders and, you know, you're kind of tall, I guess, and thick, just bulky, similar thighs, I guess, if you will. He has bigger tits than you. He definitely has bigger tits than you, but yeah, you know, he was also cooler than you. I'm just saying. Anyway, yeah, if anyone could be Steve Libby's number, I'd rather call him. Maybe I'll call Steve next time. Or Cole. Maybe we can call Cole up. She's very sensitive about Cole. For a woman that talks about other people's kids a lot, Jen Altman is very sensitive if you like Instagram posts of her son, Cole Altman. But I'm totally not going to do that right now. What is it, Cole Altman? Can I message him on? Do I have to be friends with him on Instagram to message him? Let's see. Okay. It's not letting me search. Am I not logged in? Okay, I can't figure out how this works. Doesn't matter. Okay, cool. We'll do that another time. Anyway, yeah, it's Purple Kool-Aid. I'd love to have him on, but he's got some issues going. Like, no, everybody's got a different thing. Like his is medical, I think. But you know, we got a million people anyway. So, what is this, Emily? She posted him all the time. She did. She's very rude. Yeah, I tried to get J Bro. Should I call JFK? Let's call JFK. Let's just do the rounds. Let's do the rounds. I'm calling up JFK. Randall, sorry. That's coming up as JFK. Did I change his name to Randall? I did. I did. Okay, we're going to call.
Please leave your message for 917.
Yo, Randall, what's up, dog? Yo, it's your homie G, Turtleboy, Aidan Kearney. What's up, dude? How you doing down there? What you doing right now, huh? What you doing? Yo, you watching me right now, aren't you? Yeah, you doing? You watching a little Turtleboy, aren't you? Then you're gonna watch a little Gabler later on, aren't you? Huh? Yeah, I bet you are. Yeah, we know you are. You're doing that right now, aren't you? I bet you are. What do you? Yeah, you're probably wearing those glasses right now, aren't you? And the Celtics hat, or is it the shady hat? Which hat you wearing? I don't know. We'll see. Either way, yo, real talk, bro. We gotta bury the hatchet, me and you, because we fighting the same fight here. You know what I mean? Corruption and all. We're trying to take down the system, trying to take down the man. You know, maybe we'll do a dance with my boy Kev, and you know, your boy J Bro there. Much respect to that mofo, because even though he be tripping at the last court date around Kelsey and shit, you know, that dude. I mean, that's my guy. You know, he's been here since day one. You're a clown. So he's been here for a while. He's the reason for the season. He's the reason we all are here right now. He freed Karen Reed, didn't you? Yeah, you knew that, didn't you? Yeah, you didn't you? Yeah. And maybe we'll talk about a recording. You know anything about a recording? Do you talk to Karen Reed? How do you know I don't talk to Karen Reed? I don't know. But you know, but give me a call back, man. But for real, we gotta fight this corruption. And then we gotta talk about that Tom Higgins calling your show 50,000 times and just drive that, because it never gets old talking about that ever. And it totally wasn't staged, nothing like that. So Yo, give me a call back when you get this, all right? And then we'll see you outside the Wilbur. Peace. We'll see if he calls back. I don't know. You know, the other one that we're talking about was James Jackson. Okay. You know, I mean, I'm 39,500 feet right now. That's 500 higher than it might be a little out of his altitude. I don't know. We'll see. But, you know, I would have James Jackson. I would have him on, but the time period in which I'd have him on, I'm not disrespecting Ray like that. Like, as far as I know, he has not made amends with Ray or apologized for what he did to Ray. Like Sabbath. If he wants to play dumb and be like, that wasn't a whole setup. I mean, remember that stunt they pulled 3 months ago? Are we just forgetting about that? Whatever happened to Alex Ramser? Remember the guy that claimed the guy that went on, he went on a YouTube show and announced to the world that he had digits up that a man put digits up his bunghole. That's what he did. That's all he is. He's just a guy that went on the internet and said he had some ass play with another man. That's all he is. That's all he will ever be. Alex Ramser, the guy that pretended, lied about being raped by another man. All because he got tracked down by my psychotic ex. And he came on there and he made up a lie. And then he took a fake lie detector test in a state he can't travel to because he's on probation. Right? He can't even leave the state. So they lied about that. And, you know, he is what he is. Like, and so he claims he went and filed a police report. He went in there. He's like, 2 guys diddled me. And the police have, to this day, Doogie Dick. That's what we call him, Doogie Dick. To this day, the police have never contacted Ray from Dallas, ever. Never happened. Which usually they would do if they were taking you remotely seriously at all or your allegations. So he made it all up. And he went down there. Who knows? He probably told them they were no, he actually did say he got raped. But they're like, bro, we don't believe you. And we're not even going to look into this because this shit's made up. You made up a polygraph. You made up everything. It's all lie. Nan said that he was her hero, even though he robbed multiple people at gunpoint. He's a violent felon thug, blah, 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 blah. He made the whole thing up. Okay. And then he said that he cut himself because he was suicidal over the fake rape. As it turns out, he cut himself dropping a glass table and he posted about it on Facebook. So yeah, whatever happened to Doogie Dick? I don't know. So he's not around, but they used him. It's like, it would be funny to have James Jackson on. I'm not going to lie. Because I'm free James Jackson. That's how I am. But it's just, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not messing up the vibe with Ray from Dallas or any of them. So not cool. And I'm not trying to turn this into a whole thing there. But under other circumstances, I would have him on. I don't care. But just because it would be funny, I got nothing against James Jackson. I mean, if I were Ray, I would have something against James Jackson. That's for sure. But I got nothing against him. I mean, he didn't do anything to me as far as I'm concerned. He definitely perpetuated the whole recording thing, but a lot of people did that. And to me, that was so long ago. I just don't care about the stupid recording. We look back on that. Remember, everybody thought that was going to take me down. It turned out to be so stupid. Nobody cared about any of that. And Kearney didn't care at all. Like, she got mad in September, and then that was the end of it. And then everyone else was mad on her behalf for a year. But the Daily Blaze can come on if he wants. I don't know. So anyway, so I was at soccer games all afternoon doing shit all day, and I'm getting notifications, text message from people. Oh, there's a Spaces going on. Daniel's doing a Spaces, and she who shall not be named is on there. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested. First of all, Nan's got me blocked, so I can't even listen to her anyway. So, but a million people like Will and them, the chat rats, and I watched them. And so I returned to them later, and I heard some of it, and I'm like, what a way to spend your Sunday. That's our Saturday, whatever, Saturday, right? What a way to spend your Saturday. That's all I got to say. It's like I'm doing grown-up shit, going out. You want to know what I did today? So kids stayed over we went to the Music Man last night at the Hanover Theater. We said we were cultured. the security guard there, big fan, Lisa, shout out, big turtle rider. She was great. So we saw that. We like the arts in this house. And then stayed over, got donuts in the morning, got haircuts, and then went and she had to go shopping with her mom for shit at like 11. I don't know. We had a day. Moved the grill over here, and then I had to go to the pool store. And so my pool's fucked. It's got no chlorine in it. So I don't know anything about pools. The pool was great when they first opened it up in late April. Now I can't see the bottom. Okay. And I don't know why. I got the pump fixed. Water's flowing in. It seems okay. And then all of a sudden I can't see the bottom. So I put the testers in there. It has 0 chlorine in it. None. Like 0. There's free chlorine and regular chlorine. Mine has none of the above. Okay. So I'm like, well, so what do I do about this? I don't know. And I mowed the lawn. That was a big thing today. I no longer have like the white trash, but it took like, I had to do one of those mows where it was like, it was like a jungle out there, like rabbits hiding there and shit. I think they lay their eggs in there. And so all the, so I do one mow through, right, on like the highest possible blade, right? Because it'll get stuck if you don't. And so, and first of all, it just leaves clippings everywhere because it's so full. And then, so then I did a second row on a lower one and did all that. So I had to mow it twice because there was so much shit. And then went to the pool store later on, and so I'm like, you bring in your water and they test it for you there. They're like, yeah, you have no chlorine in your pool whatsoever. Or one other thing I tested negative for. They're like, oh, this is a disaster. They go, your pool is a pond. They go, you have to put in chlorine like every day or every other day. I'm like, what? They go, when's the last time you put chlorine in? I'm like, never. When they opened it, I don't know. I've not put any. They didn't tell me that. The people that opened the pool up, they didn't even tell me shit. I mean, I didn't know. I'm like, just give me a list. Just give me a list of shit. Just tell me what to do. I don't know what to do. So apparently, you're just supposed to put chlorine in all the time, right? Like, and my pool is literally a pond. It looks like a fucking, like that's the way they describe it. They go, your pool is a pond. And I'm like, yeah, it looks like it. I can't see the bottom anymore. And it's all murky and there's shit everywhere. And no matter how much I graze it, just full of it. So I went there and I had to shock it. I had to get all this chlorine, a gigantic 5-gallon tank of it. Told me to put half of it in there. So I put half of it in there and half of this granulated shit. I don't even know what it is for the acidity. I forget what it's for. Whatever. He's like, do this one first and then this one. And put it right by where it's pumping in. So I go do that. I pump it. I throw it all in there, and they go, it should be 4 or 5 hours, whatever. And I'm like, that's shocking it. You're like shocking the pool. I'm like, okay. And so then I come back 4 or 5 hours later. I still can't see the bottom. I test it. It's got chlorine in it now. It's got the right amount of chlorine. I'm good. The correct amount of chlorine, right? But it's not clear. So my question for the pool people is, when does it get clear? Yeah, the pH. I got the pH. That's fixed. That was way off, was the pH. So I don't know if anyone could tell me this. I'm like, I put all the chlorine in it? It's pumping. It's going. It's good. How does it work? Give it 24 hours, it's going to be fixed? I hope so. People like, it needs to shock. Isn't that what's happening right now? Didn't I shock it? When you throw all the chlorine in, that's shocking it, right? Okay. Because it's going to be 90 degrees on Tuesday. I don't know if you guys know this. It's going to be 90 degrees. And we need to swim. I want to take the kids here right after. We're going to walk home from school and go swimming. Jump in the goddamn pool. Let's go. Let's go. And then then there's the filter. I don't know. Like that's fucked too. Because the PSIs, they go, if the PSIs get above 24, the PSI should be at 15. If the PSIs get to 24, 25, then you gotta backwash it. I don't know how to do that. What is that? And so the PSIs are like 23. I'm like, all I think of PSI is Tom Brady. That was like during Deflategate. That's what I learned what a PSI was. And so I have to backwash it apparently. Don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do anything. They're like, oh, do this, that. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't know how to do that. I just want to pay someone to do that. Like if I like the guy at the pool place today, he's like explaining this all to me and like the science of it, this and that. I'm like, bro, if I hire a cleaning lady, right? I don't need her to explain how she's going to clean the floors. I don't need it. Just it's going to be clean. That's it. I don't need to know how. If you hire a landscaper, I don't need to know how the mulch gets put down and the the grass gets grown. I don't need to I don't need to do any of that. And so, but so we'll see. Hopefully the chlorine thing, people like do the chlorine tablets. Everybody says don't do the tablets. They go just throw the fucking shit in there. And now my vacuum is broken. My vacuum that's like a robot. It cleans the bottom of the floor. The shit comes off of it. Everything's breaking in this goddamn pool. I hate having a pool, but I want to swim in one. It's kind of the whole appeal. But so I do have a vacuum. It's like a robot vacuum. It just goes on the floor, goes all around, and moseys down there and cleans shit up. And but the problem is the thing comes. I can't get it to stay attached to it. It floats away from the base now. It's like crazy. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So everyone like, yeah, that's pool ownership. It's like having a kid. It's like, Jesus Christ. Can you come? Can I fill it in? Can I be like Tim Albert and just throw Chloe in it? Can I like do? No, Chloe's not in there. So just throw Brian Albert's flooring in it and then just cover it up and we do it that way. Okay. I got a text that says, if you bring a cup of water from the pool, Erica, are you not watching the show? Well, Erica Walsh, who I love, texts me and she goes, you have to shock it. I know that I just described shocking it. And she says, if you bring a cup of water from the pool to the pool place, they'll tell you what you will need to do after they test it. Yeah, I explained that I did that today. You got to go back and rewind. Everybody says do salt water. I guess I should just do salt water. I don't know. Oh, let's call Cryford. We have to call him. Let's call him. See if he'll come. Okay, hold on.
Please leave your message for 9785024.
Hey, this message is from Mike Cryford. What's up, buddy? It's Aidan from Turtleboy Daily News. I thought I'd give you a call and see what you're up to. I know you and I have had some issues in the past. I called you Cryford and that hurt your feelings and whatnot, and you kind of aligned with the enemy and everything. But I say let bygones be bygones. Let's squash this beef, me and you. And I think a great way to do that is to come on my show tomorrow night not tomorrow night, during the day sometime, whenever you want. Whenever Crawford wants to come on, he can come on. Okay. And we're going to raise some money for my legal defense fund. And I can't do it without you because you built this whole shit. You were a big part of this. And your ratings reflect that. You had 78, maybe 79, even 80 people watching you in BLT the other day. That's great. That's like double 40, so that's like a lot. So I think that it would, you're killing it. You're obviously killing it right now. You're having giraffes on your show and other sort of wildlife, and that's really cool too. And yeah, I mean, you made Mark Federal. Let's not forget that too. You did take credit for that because he's nothing without you, And I say let bygones be bygones. A lot of people have done you wrong. So what if you flipped on Karen Reed when I went to jail and said that you were next and that you weren't going to talk about the McAlberts anymore and that Karen Reed might be guilty? So what? Who amongst us hasn't, thought that Karen Reed might have done it and then switch sides after Krusty Panty scared us? Like a lot of people are scared of Krusty. So I say let bygones be bygones. Let's come back on the show tomorrow night and let's put the band back together. All right. We might have Nan on. I called Randall earlier. They're going to get back to me. Let me know. I'm calling BLT next. So yeah, let me know. Talk to you later. Bye, Cryford. Okay. Let's see if he calls back. It's called BLT. Okay.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 50895. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
What's up, BLT? Hey, wow. What's going on, man? How are you? How you doing over there, BLT Media? This is Aidan from Turtleboy Daily Media. We're over here. We're having a big fundraiser tomorrow. Wow. It's going to be great. It's going to be lots of fun and lots of crying, and we're going to have a great time over here. We just need you, man. We need you. We need to put the band back together. And I know that you and I have said a lot of negative things about each other before, and I kind of pointed out that you saw the Enrique Delgado Garcia video and you possess it, but you won't show anyone it, and you kind of grifted off of that story when the family asked you not to, and you put up kind of a promotional billboard of it, and you really want to make that a thing, but it's just not becoming a thing. But I say let bygones be bygones, man. I think, I really do. I really do. And, your hair looks great these days. I'm really impressed by the fact that you went from being completely bald to having such a beautiful, very real head of hair in such a short amount of time. That's great and totally not a sign of grifting or anything like that. So, yeah, man, we'd love to have you on. We'd love to have you on. So give me a call when you get this, and we'll set up a good time for you to come on tomorrow. And, let bygones be bygones. Okay, pal? Bye. Let's see if he comes. Let's see if he calls. I'm just in a get together mood tonight. I say let's. Tomorrow's going to be a day of joy. It's going to be fun. Now I want to raise 50 grand. That's my goal tomorrow, because we raised 27,000 in 3 hours on December 19th in a fundraiser that I put together in like 2 days. Okay, and that went head to head against the Karen Reed fundraiser. And did I do that out of spite at the same time? Of course I did that out of spite. But it wasn't because of spite towards Karen. It was a spite towards DJ Calling All Beings, because he knew exactly what he was doing. That was just like, oh, yeah, you want to fuck with me? I'll fuck with you. Like, let's not pretend that fundraiser and the people that he invited onto that fundraiser was not a complete fuck you to Turtleboy. Let's not pretend that. Okay, we knew exactly what you guys were doing when you did that. Okay, first of all, the fact that people like Melanie Little didn't even get a call, weren't even asked to go on the show, really tells you everything that you need to know about that. But either way, I think I raised like 27 G's that night, just like that. It was so easy, and that was around Christmas when people pockets are tight and blah 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 and all that stuff. So tomorrow, we do it for 12 hours. I say 50 G's, but maybe more. I say, why not more? Let's go for the gold. A lot of people have been saving up. So at tomorrow when I wake up, I will clock in what is on the Give, Send, Go. And, we will at midnight, at the end of this, we will see what's on there. Imagine we got 100 G's. Oof. I could use it. Let me tell you, that would be like the biggest fucking relief. If we were able to get 100 G's on there. Oh my God. I don't know what I'd do. I'd be so happy. But, it just feels so positive to have, and this doesn't happen to douchebags, This doesn't happen to real criminals. Like, real criminals don't get this. Like, people are innocent when they're able to crowdfund like this. They just are. Like, Karen Reed was able to raise that much money because she's innocent. Oh, I forgot about Kelly Reed. I should get her on. I should get Kelly Reed on. I forgot. Maybe we'll get her on there sometime. The Reed family ambassador. She's great, isn't she? Yes. I haven't talked to her in a bit, but I'd love to reach out to Kelly. Man, that would be awesome. All right. Yeah. So it's going to be great, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Like I said, I have no plan, but I'm going to be going over a lot of my charges and stuff and reliving them and talking about how stupid this all is, you know, and, you know, why we need to. Yes, so Britt Happens has offered to track the money for me. That'd be great. Awesome. Call Boston Brandi. I don't want to start with Boston Brandi, to be honest with you. She did message me. She messaged me like, I'll tell you. I'm honest about it. Brandi messaged me a few weeks ago and said, you know, okay. So she goes, "You sorry yet?" That's what she messages me on April 28th. I go, "For what?" She goes, "You sorry yet?" I go, "For what?" She goes, "Anything?" I go, "Nothing to be sorry for. Not with you, at least." Then she says, "So all that hatred just because I wouldn't condemn someone, just to be clear so I know. Am I right or missing something else?" She goes, "Either way, I guess I'm just sorry for not wanting to get involved. I'll always choose to sit it out if I had the choice. Wouldn't that be nice?" Which I just can't comprehend why I didn't. So it sounds like she's kind of admitting wrongdoing. And then she goes, "I refuse to pick a fight with people because I've argued too many times in life and I just don't feel like it's ever worth it. I shouldn't have lost my cool with you." That's right. She threatened to smack me. That's right. "I shouldn't have lost my cool with you that morning, but I was probably hangry. I just wanted some closure." And so this whole, like, I'm not getting involved thing, I'm like, what? I go, she released all of Karen Reed's private signal communications, all of her attorney's messages with me, and the recording now, which I never sent or played for anyone, being used against her and me. I go, you didn't just not condemn her, you publicly supported her after what she did to Karen, me, and so many others. I don't have any long-term issues with you. I said what I said, and I'm done. But that's fucked to associate with somebody like that and post pictures with her after everything she's done to Karen, me, and so many other innocent people. And then Brandi says, "Wait, I never once publicly supported her online, especially about any of that." What? He goes, "Or are you talking about when I saw her in Southie and we took that picture? So now we're playing stupid. So now we're playing dumb. I mean, really? Oh, yeah, like you can't be like, yeah, I support Karen Reed, all this. And meanwhile, here I am with the person who leaked all of Karen Reed's signal messages out there." I go, yeah, we're talking about that. I go, and everything I go, do you understand what she did to Karen? That's all out there now. She goes, "I promise you group me in with people, but I never once talked about the recording. Not once. I don't care about that. On everything I've lost and loved. Even when Meredith did that stuff to Boozy," I think Boozy Beauty she's talking about. "I love Boozy. She's my girl. But as much as I wanted to jump in, I stayed quiet. And it killed me to watch her get shitted on. I've sat back when many people have been shitted on. That's just a fact. You weren't the only one. And everyone who has been mass harassed, in my opinion, or deserve more support from me, as you clearly can handle yourself. But in your eyes, it was betrayal, I guess." It was just a lot of shit with her. It was like the constant comments about like coming at me and people that supported me and shit like that. And like, also, you know, and saying that like Karen Reed's civil case was more important than my criminal case and all this shit. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff she said. She goes, "But I guess it was betrayal, I guess. Just not for Peter or Scott." Who's that? Murphy? Or anyone else. "So I was honestly shocked and confused. I never knew minding my business minding my business, would turn me into a traitor, a whore, a deadbeat, and so on. Can you send me anything I said that really set you off? I really can't remember, and I hope it wasn't misconstrued. I don't know. I appreciate you clarifying at least this much anywhere. I never wanted to argue. Then she says, did to Karen? ? I thought we were on the same team when it came to caring about the big, powerful people hurting you in Karen. Who gives a fuck about these little peasants? I didn't. Why are you getting I go, but no doubt it was a stupid move by whoever released the phone extraction. Whoever released it, I go, do you not understand what she did to assist the powerful people hurting Karen Reed? And she goes, didn't they already have it or no? Sorry if that's a stupid question. Yes, the Commonwealth had it. The police had it. Julie Carpenter and Krusty did not. She goes, is she being prosecuted for it? 5150. Either way, how could I alone have made a difference? Oh, I don't know. Maybe be like, sorry, I'm not posing for your propaganda pictures. Like, God, that you're going to post on social media. If I posted that, she was a douchebag, etc., would that have helped? In my eyes, I didn't see that because you're very against posting that people are douchebags. We know. I go, she intentionally gave the phone extraction to Kate Peter, knowing that all of Karen's messages are on the extraction. And now her signal messages are being used against her in the McAlbert's lawsuit. And she is in danger of being indicted for conspiracy, Karen. Like that's what they say. They're always like, Karen's going to be indicted for conspiracy. So now would be a good time to release all her messages so that they can hem her up on some bullshit. All of this because she sent my phone extraction to the bad guys, which also revealed all of my sources, including citizens of Canton who wanted anonymity and are scared of the Alberts. She put all of them in danger. Despite knowing all of this, you publicly associated with her and wouldn't dare say anything condemning her, even though she put Karen in danger. I go, you have no problem calling me and other people douchebags, but not her. Not her. And she's the one harming Karen and supporting the McAlberts. Boom, roasted. And she goes, I do have a problem. I hate calling you anything. You may not believe me, but I don't like confrontation. I snapped on you after I was dragged. I would love to see 1 ounce, one post, one comment of me ever taking sides prior to that. I never did. You won't find it. And I'm just one person trying to fight the powerful people that can change who gets arrested for crimes and who doesn't. I think it's such a waste of time for us to let these asshole corrupt murderers see any of us fighting. They are loving it, watching everyone fall apart. You're missing the biggest point. It's unbelievable how many people are fighting now. It's like the unity never existed and the problems with trust just grew larger. I wish none of this ever happened. But in the end, I didn't do it. I didn't agree with any of it. Many people sat quiet and left it, and you left them alone. I got defensive because of that. I go, you're missing the point. She's assisting with the murderers. Okay? She's working with Kate Peter, and you're out here taking pictures with her and having her back. So it was the pictures then? Me having one picture means I agree with her actions? I would say so. I would say so. I would say, you know who I wouldn't pose for a picture with? Oh, I get to this. She goes, me having one picture means I agree with their actions. That's where the disconnect with us is in. Then I go, that would be like you taking a picture with Colin Albert or Kate Peter and then saying you support Karen. There's no difference at this point. There is zero difference. Zero. She's actually, Colin Albert has not hurt Karen Reed as much as that one has. I go, there's no difference, and you know that. You posed for that picture knowing it was going to be posted on social media, despite knowing what she did to Karen. It's not the same, Aidan. And this was after your people put me through hell. And you know what? I honestly didn't even think of that. Because she told me 1,000% it wasn't her. I mean, we're really even debating this anymore. 2 people had the extraction. Me and her. That's it. Obviously, I did not release my own phone extraction. Obviously. Why would I do that? Why would I release my own phone extraction after I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars filing motions for taint teams to prevent the government from going through my phone extraction. But I'm just going to be like, here, Kate Peter, have it all. Have the whole fucking thing. Really? I mean, it's either me or, bro, there's two people. There's only two people that could have sent it out. Me and her. She uploaded it to a Google Drive. That's it. No one could get that Google Drive unless it was sent to them. That's it. You didn't need a password to get in the Google Drive. You just have the Google Drive sent to you, and then you get the phone extraction. She goes, can you send me absolute proof it was her? I am so adamant about not believing people because of how many times I've watched people be framed for things, including myself. I guess I just assumed that you'd understand that I had no proof, so I wasn't going to make a decision or something until I did. You know what you have no proof of? You have no proof that Brian Higgins punched John O'Keefe in the face. You have no proof of that. You got a lot of circumstance, but you got a fuck ton of circumstantial evidence of that, don't you? Sometimes we don't need proof. Sometimes you just have overwhelming circumstantial evidence and common sense, right? But you believed her. What proof did she have that she didn't do it? So she goes, I shouldn't have been dragged for that, but it is why it is what it is. I go, there was two people that had the phone extraction, me and her. Obviously, it wasn't me. I go, of course she told you it wasn't her. Do you think she's going to admit it? You think she's going to be like, it was me, Brandi. Like, what do you? She goes, whoever did it won't admit it. I know that. Hence why I wanted to see proof before I shit all over someone. Proof? What fucking proof do you, like, how do you prove that? You think Kate Peter is going to give up her sources? Think Kate Peter's going to be like, it was fucking Meredith. You think that's part of the deal? Don't you think that's part of the deal? Is if you want the good shit, you can't say where it came from. I go, well, obviously I didn't send my own phone extraction. And she goes, is she the one that allegedly hacked into your stuff? Really? Wasn't there an assistant that did that to you too? An assistant? What do you? I could be getting things wrong. This is why I'm asking. I go, she didn't hack into the phone extraction. She uploaded it for me to a Google Drive. So it's just her and me and my lawyers that could see it. No, I mean, is there any possibility at all that it was anyone else or no? No. Stop it. I am not tech savvy. Oh, I know. So I have no clue. I just assume there's a ton of hackers out there and maybe people who don't like you. You don't need to be a hacker. She took it out of my fucking bag. I don't think whoever did it should have. And that's all I can say to you. So we're just going to play dumb. Okay. So anyway, whatever. I guess my assistant did it. Like, this is like, you know, she's like, she probably went back to her. She's like, what about this? She's like, oh, it wasn't me. The assistant did it. Whatever. So anyway, I can't with their stupidness. I'm not calling her. Anyway, so that's that. All right. So if anyone wants their messages read out loud to the class tonight, you can click the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy, and I will read your messages out loud to the class. You can say whatever you want, pay whatever you want, and we'll be good. All right, let's read some Turtle Chats here. All right. Danielle sends $10, goes, regarding the Chud case. Remember the Apple River case in Wisconsin a few years ago where the man got in a fight with teens in the river? I don't. Who were calling him a pedo. And he stabbed and killed a young man because he was surrounded by the young men in the river. He claimed self-defense, was found guilty, and got 25 to life because he had a chance to walk away during the confrontation. But Tennessee is a stand your ground state. Regardless of the speech, if this moron had a chance to walk away in footage, he likely will be found guilty. I believe the law is pretty clear on this. So the Chud the Builder case is actually one of the, and I talked about this on my Bus Stop Live the other day, is actually one of the most, it's going to be one of the most interesting cases ever. Like, because it involves two amendments, the first and the second, like heavily, right? And this is really testing both of them to the extreme, right? So if you guys don't know Chud the Builder is, he's this guy in Nashville, 28-year-old who has made a living in the last few months and built an online following, going around, filming himself, streaming himself on something called Pump. I don't know why every these streaming services all have to be a verb, because every other streaming service has banned him. He just goes on Pump and he streams himself going up to random black people and calling them the N-word. And then when they get mad at him, he goes, "Oh, they're chimping out. They're chimping out. Oh, don't chimp out of me. Don't chimp out." And whatever. Okay. So like his content came up on my feed. It's fascinating. I watch it all the time. I'm not going to lie. I think this is wild to see. No one's ever done this before. Just film themselves going up to black people and calling them the N-word. And a lot of the times it goes okay. They're just like, whatever. But some, like, they're just seeing, like, his goal is to provoke a reaction here. And he's trying to, like, his goal is, I guess, is to see, it's like testing the First Amendment. Like, because with that word, with the N word particularly, like, we can say any word, we can say anything in the English language. It's free speech, right? It's all protected by the First Amendment. Everything we say, there's no such thing legally as hate speech, right? You could say whatever you want. You can call someone a fag, you know, you call them kike or spick or any horrible word that you want. You can do all that, but you can't say the N word. That's like the one word no one is allowed to say. And I don't say the N word. I have no desire to say the N word. But at the end of the day, and I understand the historical context of the N word and why it's such a bad word and why it's so offensive and all that stuff. I was a history teacher. I'm not oblivious to the historical context of the N word. I understand what a bad word is. I get it. It's an ugly word. It's mean. I wouldn't say it. Okay. And they're like, it's hate speech. Well, hate speech is subjective. You know, well, one person finds hate speech, another person might not. But the fact of the matter is with that word is the lines became blurred along the way about who can say it and who can't, because it's a very popular word in rap music. Is it not? Right? It's like every other word in rap music is the N word. And certain people are allowed to say it and certain people aren't. Black people are allowed to say it. They 1000% they can say it because it's a term of endearment. You've taken back the power from whitey. Be like, you want to call us the N-word? We're going to call ourselves the N-word. And then it's not offensive. Okay, so that's one little exception to you can't say the N-word. And then the question became, what about Puerto Ricans? Can they say the N-word? Because, you know, they're a minority group. They're brown, you know? And the answer to that is overwhelmingly yes. Like, as somebody that taught in the Worcester schools, and like all the Puerto Rican kids all said the N-word regularly. It was not a problem. Okay. What about Asians? Can Asians say the N-word? And that's like that's a tough one. But generally the answer is no. They don't get the same classification because they're too. I don't know what the rule is. I don't know why. Nobody ever explained why. Maybe they're successful. I don't know what the problem is with Asian people, but they're not allowed for the most part to say it, but they might be able to get away with it sometimes. The easy answer is white people. That's a no. White people are not allowed to say it at all. As a matter of fact, if you like rap music and you're singing along, you have to censor yourself when you're singing along. You can't even do it singing along. Okay. This is all stupid. Okay. All these stupid rules about the N-word are stupid. Okay. Either it's a horrible word that no one's allowed to say, or you start making these words up, the lines get blurred. Okay. And eventually this was inevitable. Inevitably, there was going to be a guy named Chud, okay, who is going to be like, you know what? I want to say the N-word, so I'm going to film myself saying it and monetize the fuck out of it. Like, I swear to God, this was inevitable. A Chud the Builder. I'm surprised it took this long for a Chud the Builder to go along. And so he goes around filming himself saying the N-word and just pissing off black people. Okay. Sometimes he pisses off white people, but mostly it's black people. And I watch it because I'm like, this is the most entertaining shit I've ever seen. Like, people are watching it for a reason because, like, this is fucking wild. Like, this is fucking, let's talk about eating your popcorn. You're like, Jesus Christ, this is never seen this before. And so he pisses people off. And, like, sometimes black people get real mad about it. And he just, like, that's when he gets real excited. When they get mad, he's like, oh, you're chimping out. You're chimping out on me. Chimping out. Okay. Well, but he also carries mace with him and apparently a gun. And he maced a dude like a week ago in downtown Nashville. And then he, I bet you Randall says the N-word. He probably gets a pass, though. I don't know. He maced the dude. And a black guy who hit his hat off, and he maced him. And apparently he's got carries a gun with him too, and he's threatened to, like, I'll shoot you if you keep fucking with me. N-words. And apparently in Nashville that happened almost a week ago now. And Chud the Builder, a guy just came up to him while he was streaming and punched him. And Chud shot him. The details, we don't know. And he shot himself in the process. And now he is being charged with attempted murder. And he was held on $1.25 million bond, which is crazy. Kouri Ritchins, when they blamed her falsely for murdering John O'Keefe, was held on $100,000 bond, $100,000. This guy got $1.25 million. That's crazy. That's political. That's what that is. That's like political. The guy that hit him is like a rap sheet a mile long and all that stuff. But it brings up a couple issues here. Number one, it's like a mixture of like Rittenhouse and George Zimmerman all put together, right? And like the First Amendment, like, it's just crazy. So first issue is, is this provocation, right? Is it self-defense? That's what's come down to. Is this self-defense? It did Chud act in self-defense. We don't have the video, but I don't know. Like, did he act in self-defense? Or did he give up that right when he provoked these people? At the same time, it's like, I disagree that under any circumstances, do you have a right to hit someone because of words? Ever. That's not how a free society works. You don't like a word, and that includes the N-word. There's no like special exemption here, but like, well, that word it's okay to punch someone in the face if they say that word. It's okay if they say that word. And the problem for Chud the Builder is he's very unlikable. I don't like him. I think he's a douchebag. Like, I think he's an ass. I think he's an asshole. Like, who goes around doing? Like, why be an asshole? Like, this is what you're doing with your time. But at the same time, I'm a free speech absolutist. And if you don't like something that someone says, then say it back to them or ignore them. That's just what I say. So I think he's an asshole, but being an asshole isn't a crime. Last I checked. And so I don't know. I just think that it's whatever. They're going to be like, so that's the first aspect of it, is the free speech aspect of it. And then there's the gun. Then there's the gun aspect to this. And like, did you have to shoot him? And like, didn't you basically you went out there and you did something that you knew would be provocative, that you knew would just get them fucking going and fired up. And you were ready for this, which is why you have a fucking gun on you. You were just waiting for this opportunity. You were just waiting to shoot a black guy. I mean, it's like hunting, kind of, It's like hunting. Like, he went out there and armed, and he knew that he would piss one of these guys off and they would try to fight him just because he wanted to shoot an angry black guy. And that's the way that the government is going to present this case. As you were hunting black people, you were out there saying something that you knew would piss black people off, especially. And that, you incited violence or whatever. But at the same time, I think that's kind of a bogus argument because you're like, words should never incite violence. Like that should never be like, well, use inciting violence. Words in a free society should never incite violence, ever, ever. They shouldn't, you know? So it's going to be an interesting one. His problem is that juries decide these things. And jury nullification, as Ian Runkle said it, works both ways, right? Like, because even if they decide that he does not fit the elements of attempted murder and that he's innocent of attempted murder, not guilty at least, that they can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he fit the elements of attempted murder, they might just be like, yeah, but he's an asshole. He's Chud the Builder. We got to convict him of something. That's like what the Karen Reed jury tried to do, right? I don't know. She's kind of sucks. Like, whatever. Shouldn't we just, convict her anyway, So to me, words can never be considered violence. And if I were his lawyer, I would argue, well, how does he know that his words are going to incite violence? Like he can't assume that, but then he's got tweets saying, oh, I got a gun. Cause why are you walking around with a gun then? He's the primary aggressor. How is he the primary aggressor? Not physically. He's not the primary aggressor. Physically, the other guy is. And so you can't argue that words make you the aggressor. They're not. Words can, as a free speech guy, words can never be the aggressor. The aggressor is the person that uses physical violence. Is the first, they are the aggressor, in my opinion. Okay? And so, yeah, nope, you can't just yell at kids. Oh, yes, you can. Oh, yes, you can. You absolutely can yell at kids. I don't know what planet you guys are on with this First Amendment stuff. You absolutely can yell at kids. You absolutely can be offensive. You can be hurtful. You can be an asshole. You can be the biggest piece of shit ever. Ever. He used his gun, not words. Well, that's that he did use his gun. And that's what it's going to come down to is, did he do it in self-defense though? He better, we'll see there's got to be video out there somewhere, something. There's got to be video out there. And if he did not, if you got punched by somebody and then you took out your gun and shot them, that's not self-defense. You have to be actively defend. There are elements of self-defense. You have to be actively defending yourself. Like Kyle Rittenhouse had a self-defense, and there's another similar one. This one, Zimmerman, tons of similar, whatever. Kyle Rittenhouse, who is, by the way, should have been the most open and shut not guilty verdict, and it took days to have a not guilty verdict. He is on video actively defending himself, from an attacker who's trying to hit him. He literally shoots in self-defense. It's on video. It's undeniable. But they're like, yeah, but you kind of provoked it. Well, how do you provoke it? Well, you had a gun and it was out and you were walking around with it. That in and of itself was a provocation. Really? Well, it took 5 days for a jury to acquit Kyle Rittenhouse, which should have been the most open and shut thing. But people think that just because you're provocative, then you're bringing this on yourself. Now, I admit that it makes him not likable and not anything, but we just put all that shit aside. Look at the facts of the case. So my bet is that he's going to be convicted. He's either that or he's got to take a plea, because this is different from Rittenhouse, because there better be a video of him out there of him being actively punched in the face, or else it ain't going to be self-defense. You can't just shoot somebody. You can't just shoot people. That's not equal force, right? He's got bear spray. He could use that. And they blamed Kyle Rittenhouse for being there, right? And that was absurd. He has a right to be there. It's a free country. Oh, he crossed state lines. Bro, he lived on a state line. Who cares? State lines, like some international border you're not allowed to cross. You need a passport. Stupid. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so that's my thought on Chud the Builder. All right, next. And so, as like to be clear, I'm not defending the guy. I don't care for him. I found his whole thing very interesting, and I couldn't stop watching it. I'm gonna miss watching it because that shit was like crazy theater for like a couple weeks there. It's like, bro, this dude's fucking. The inevitable is eventually gonna happen, but what now? Like, what if he gets released on bail too? Like, if he somehow comes up with it, what's he gonna do? He can't do what he was doing before. I don't know. All right, next. Okay. All right, let's see. Next one. Where are we here? Oh, Lynette Carolla, my good friend from California, sends $100 and goes, "Let's go, Turtle Boy. Wishing you a very happy and successful fundraiser tomorrow. I hope you reach above and beyond your goals. You have a great lineup, and I'll be watching and supporting you from Los Angeles. If CBS was smart, they would replace Colbert with you. You're so talented and entertaining. All the best and lots of love, Lynette Carolla." Well, thank you so much, Lynette. That's too kind of you. I would love to. I don't think they would hire me, but I'd do it. If they want me to do it, I'll do it. I'll do whatever they want. All right, next. Where'd it go? Did I lose my? Oh, there's my stream ad. All right, next up. Frozen. Am I back? Okay. All right, Colby sends $10. Goes, "Hi, Turtle Boy. Hey, how you doing, Colby? Nice to see you." Joy sends $20. Goes, 10 years reading and watching. Without question, the funniest thing you've said in all those years is the rabbits lay their eggs out there. They do. They do. It's thick grass. It's safe from predators out there. They can't get their eggs if they lay them in the tall grass. So thank you. Joellen sends $25 and goes, "That Crawford call made me laugh my booty off. Free Turtle Boy. Well, put your booty back on. You're going to need it. Thank you." The other Mary B sends $5. Goes, "So excited for tomorrow. We're going to free you so hard. You're going to free me so hard. So hard. I admire you forever and the respect for Ray like a man. James should take notes." I don't want to make things awkward. James didn't do that anything to me, but I don't want to disrespect my guy Ray. So maybe another time. Called DePietro and invite him, sends $5. Goes, "Listen, Turtle, on the eve of the fundraiser, can you declare it not gay to have a man crush on David Yannetti?" Thinks, "I'll allow it. I will allow that. Not gay. Not gay." All right, next. The Law Girl's Not Attorney sends $5. Goes, "If everyone likes, shares, and hypes this stream tonight, will it push your channel fundraiser tomorrow out into the algorithm more?" I don't know how that works. Congrats on the lineup. People think lining guests up is easy work, but it's definitely not. I can't wait to see what the antis have to say about this on their foreskin girls. Yeah, it's like, and not just the antis, the people who are like anti Turtle Boy, but pro Karen Reed, that segment, which is honestly crazier than the antis. I don't know like how they feel about the Yannetti thing. Like, I was on Reddit. Let me check this out. Like, the Reddit hates me. There's a free Karen Reed subreddit. And I am not well liked over there. I don't go on Reddit because it's just a bunch of crybaby bitches. But I am not popular on there at all, which is fine because this is just an anonymous platform for douchebags. Where'd it go? There was one over here for Yannetti. Did they take it down? I swear to God, this came up. Here it is. Okay. So it says, I find it intriguing, somebody says, that he is going on Turtleboy's fundraiser, considering what Kearney has done to Karen since the trials ended. What have I done to Karen? Can we talk about that for a second? Like what I've done to her? I mean, really? This is what we're doing? What I've done to, what did I do to Karen? What did Karen do to me? We both did shit. Okay? We got in a public spat. Big fucking deal. Get over it. You know who doesn't care about any of this? Karen Reed. She doesn't give a fuck. Okay? You do for some reason. What did it, add it all up? What have I done to her? Oh, we recorded her. Okay, what did I do with it? Nothing. Oh, who cares? It's illegal in 40 fucking states. Who cares? Maybe I was in a state where it was legal. Who cares? Did she press charges? No. Who cares? Who cares? Right? You don't know why I did shit. Who cares? I wasn't fucking hurting anyone. Who cares? Oh, he called her a cunt. It was a term of endearment. I said she's a cunt, not a murderer. That's what I said, which is actually a positive way to say cunt. And I call a lot of people cunts. It's not a big deal. And she doesn't give a fuck either. She's over it. Okay? She doesn't care. People are out here calling her murderers, which is significantly worse. So yeah, what I've done to Karen Reed. I mean, we're really doing this after everything he's done to Karen. And she's not blameless either. Okay. You think she handled that fucking well? You think she handled that well? Going on Hood Booger Talk Radio and announcing to the world that Will the Glare is a bad guy. Nurse Kim's a bad person. Oh, they hurt me. And Turtle Boy's a bad guy and this and that. You think that was fucking productive? You think that was cool? No, we've both done shit. Okay. She did fuck. You think that that's not cool? What I did wasn't cool. What she did wasn't fucking cool. Okay. We both did shit that's not cool. Get over it. It's not a big fucking deal. You know why? Because her and I were hand in hand exposing the biggest public corruption case of our time. Okay? She couldn't have done it without me. I couldn't have done it without her. That's a fact. All right? We both did that. And according to the feds, or not the feds, the police, we talked every day 189 fucking times. 189 hours on the phone. No, was it 40 hours or 189 times? I forget. It was a lot either way. A whole lot. And we uncovered unprecedented amounts of corruption together. Okay? This is not a one-person job. Right? And but all these motherfuckers, these whiny little bitches want to talk about is what he did to her. Bitch, why do you guys treat her like a damsel in distress that can't fucking handle it? You know? That's never been in a fight before. There's never been an argument before or anything like that. It's stupid. She doesn't care. Trust me. You care, but she doesn't give a fuck. And the Nick Roccos of the world care because they need it. He needs it to get closer to Karen. Oh, Karen, that's messed up what you did. Oh, I would never do that to you. I'm your loyal one. What do you need me to post? Tell me what to fucking post. I'll post it right now. Dude, tell me what to post. I'll do it. I'll never question you. So, nobody cares. Okay? So, these people care, though. So he goes, I find it intriguing what he's done to Karen since the trial ended. It makes me wonder if there was friction between David and Karen and Alan. Why would there? What? It also seems, well, here's the thing. Yannetti didn't come on my show during the horror tour. Alan did. So what are you talking about? How does that make any sense? David went on a million other shows. Didn't come on mine. So if your theory is David had a falling out with Alan and Karen, then why wouldn't David come on my show early on as a big fuck you to them, right? Why wouldn't he do that? Doesn't make any sense. Your theory doesn't make any sense. It also seems like a weird thing since Yannetti is in Kearney's phone extraction, although it doesn't seem to be anything too bad, why would he want to do this? I love how they say that. Why would he want to do this? Here's a theory, you fucknut. Here's an idea. Maybe, just maybe, David Yannetti likes me. Maybe. I know that's fucking crazy. It's really hard for you retards to understand. But there's a reason in my phone extraction, a lot of complimentary text messages from Alan and David to me are coming out because they value me. And Karen the same way. They all valued me. You got to be fucking retarded to think they wouldn't value me. How fucking stupid are you? They wanted this story out there bad. No one was taking the story. And Yannetti's got a story to tell about that tomorrow. Okay? And no one's taking this story. No one wants to tell the truth. David's got a really interesting story he's going to share with you guys tomorrow about this. And they wanted this out there. They wanted the public to know what was going on. No one would write about it. And they couldn't believe it. They're just like, how is no one interested in the story? And then I came forward without being contacted by them. I just did it on my own. And they're like, this guy, imagine being them trying to get the story out there. And like, not only is it out there now, it's out there bigger and in a much cooler way, a funner way, a way it's being reported by a guy who's not only reporting on it, he's 100% on our side. And he's leading a crowd of people that want to support us financially. All right. So that's what that is. So, maybe that's why. But these fucknuts, they can't understand it. They're like, I think Yannetti is genuinely thankful to Turtleboy. That's correct. He's also representing a police officer currently that could use public attention that Turtleboy can help with. That too. Nothing Yannetti said to Turtleboy is an issue, and he isn't named in the defamation lawsuit anyway. Because they are co-defendants, and Alan is still representing Karen in both those civil suits, he has to keep a distance from Turtleboy regardless of issues Karen and Turtleboy have. You don't know that there's a fact, but because Alan has said very good things about me recently on other channels, but that's okay. This is not support of Turtleboy on my side. They always have to have that little caveat. I don't support Turtleboy. Just rationalization of why Yannetti would be supportive. He and Elassie both participated in the last fundraiser and auctioned off their ties. Yes. So the reason Alan, I didn't invite Alan because it's common sense. He's not going to be able to come on because he represents Karen. And this is a fundraiser for me. Like maybe if her and I were doing like a joint thing, then maybe then, right? But obviously he's not going to come on if he's representing one of the defendants. That's why. Duh. But you are correct. That is the right answer. Alan and Karen are in the middle of a civil suit where the plaintiff attempted to use Aidan's illegal recording against Karen to search her phone. Aidan has attempted to put Karen in harm's way multiple times, and it's clear Alan isn't happy. Then if Alan's not happy, then why did he go on Billy Bush like a couple months ago and say great things about me? Turtleboy asked both David and Alan onto his fundraiser. AJ isn't going. Who are these people? That never happened. Never asked Alan to come on. Yannetti is now out of the fight as he's not representing Karen anymore. Isn't that big of a deal? And honestly, as much as I dislike Aidan, someone has to keep his ego happy. So Yannetti's just coming on to please my ego, not because, he believes in me or anything like that. Yeah. Right. Plus David is a local lawyer. It's free promotion for him. Okay. Off topic. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Someone goes, it's probably really good strategy. I'd want someone to keep tabs on Turtleboy. Well, their whole thing is going on. Yeah, that's why he's doing it. He's keeping tabs on me. How about this? Instead of inventing infighting that doesn't exist, maybe wrap your mind around this simple answer. Karen and Turtleboy are on the same side, and they understand each other. It's the gossips of social media who've cooked up a huge drama that is not happening. Exactly. All this does is help the House defense. Exactly. How about this? How does a person on Reddit help the House defendants? As for it being an invention, it's pretty obvious she wants nothing to do with him. How the fuck do you know? I mean, these people all out there. How the fuck do you know who the conversations I've had with Kouri? How do you know about any of that? You don't know shit, motherfucker. These people that act like they have all this insight, you don't know anything. You know nothing. If I was talking to Kouri, I wouldn't fucking tell you, dipshit. He's way too busy hassling Nick Rocco because he's intertwined with Karen and AJ. Oh, yeah. Has it ever occurred to you their lawyers have told them, or well, more likely her lawyers have told her to keep her distance from Turtleboy as they're being sued? Maybe she does not have an issue with him, but is doing what her lawyers tell us to. That's much more likely. Us on the outside don't. Exactly. There you go. Yeah. Anyway, what are these people saying? Astrocarp. Karen hates Aidan. Oh my God. I can't even with these retards. Anyway, so that's that. I can't even go on Reddit. It's just, they're just such losers on there. But anyway, back to this. Let me refresh this. Turtle chats. All right. Zach sends $5, goes, the ability to say the N-word is the second reason I wish I was black. I get it. I get it, Zach. Thank you. Joy sends $5 and says, you poor sweet man. Rabbits don't lay eggs. Cadbury's aren't real. You don't know that. They lay eggs to me. Paula sends $5, goes, friendly pool advice. I told you last week to shock the pool, and you said, should I just throw cords in? Well, it's a joke. I didn't actually mean that. So the vacuum needs to be cleaned after use. I did that. Otherwise, it clogs up and doesn't work. I do clean the vacuum. The problem is it no longer sticks in. I pulled it out, I cleaned it, and I can't get it to stick back in. So it floats away now in the pool. It floats away. It doesn't move with the base. That's the problem. I don't know. There's that. All right, next. Where's Bob Alessi? Sends $10. Goes, where's Bob Alessi? Like he's fallen off the face of the earth. I don't have the kind of relationship with him that I did with the others because he wasn't around for the good stuff early on. I don't have his like number, but I would have loved to invite him on. You know, that would have been cool. But I'll settle for one major defense attorney from the Kouri trial. I think that's good. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. Let me see if we have any cash apps here. Okay. Amy sends $5 and goes, the truth is you could get in more trouble. What? Just D. Don't know what that means. Thanks, Amy. Carrie sends $5, goes, flipperhead, please. We'll see. We'll see. Nothing against flipperhead, but Marianne sends $10 and says has a bunch of turtle emojis. So thank you very much, Marianne. So anyway, that's that. If anyone else wants their message read, click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat or just cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy. And I see Runkle is in my inbox saying, looks like the weather canceled my weekend plans. Woo. Runkle. We got to get him on. Let's do it. Yeah. All right, cool. So what were we going to talk about tonight? Let's see. I was going to talk about, the Kouri Richins case. We talked dude, I went down. If you didn't watch Sex Cult the other night, I had no intention of talking about Kouri Richins, and I didn't watch some of that trial, but, man, she's horrible. Like that was wild. That was very entertaining. I just watched the sentencing, and then we went back and watched the body cam footage. We really analyzed that of there, and I'm like, oh man, she's such a bad liar. Like, this is crazy. This woman murder, that's crazy. And her brother has issued a crazy statement saying that there was 4 victims the other day, and none of them are Eric Richins, aka the 3 kids and Kouri are the victims. Like, that's wild. I had no idea how evil she was. I don't know her. She doesn't look evil. She doesn't. And you can't judge a book by its cover. One of those things. Some of them are nuts. Side note, my kids are, we got to work on getting tougher. Like, so we went to the Hanover Theater last night, and like, I grew up in Worcester, so like, I'm used to Worcester shit, and there's just a lot of vagrants and stuff like that. My kids are not growing up in Worcester. They're growing up in Holden, and we don't have vagrants here. And so we went to the Hanover Theater last night, and it's downtown, and like, come back to the car that time of day, there was a culture shock. Like, it was crazy. I'm like, it'll be fine. Like, they're just because there's just bums walking around making noises and acting crazy and whatever. And I told her though, I go, because she's like, Daddy, what the? They want to get close to you, and I'm like, he's fine. He's not gonna hurt you. You can't judge a book by its cover. That's what I said. He could be a really nice guy. I go, he was a baby once too. That guy, he had a mom. Probably something went wrong. I had to explain what drugs were last night. They didn't know what drugs were. I don't know. We went down the whole thing. I'm like, because they're like, why do they live out there? Why do they live outside? And I'm like, well, they don't want to. They don't want to, but then why don't they? Why do they? Well, because they don't have any money. They don't. Why don't they work? Well, because they like drugs. They just like drugs. They spend all their money on drugs. And so that's just what they do. Well, what's drugs? Oh, have you heard of heroin? Like, I'm having this conversation with my kids. I'm like, don't they teach kids shit in school anymore? Like, any of this stuff? Why am I teaching you this stuff? But I guess you have to have that conversation, and kids are starting to, she came home the other day and she was like, kid on the bus was Googling you. I'm like, Googling me? And she's like, yeah, my picture comes up when you Google me. I'm like, what? And like, why are kids Googling me on your bus? And it's like, she goes, I don't know, because you're like a celebrity. That's what she said. I'm like, so kids are Googling me on the bus? So again, eventually I'm going to have this. Now that she figured out Google, now I have to have this whole other conversation with her about other stuff. You Google me, we know what comes up. Now I have to have a whole other conversation. So we're getting to that age. So that's going to be fun. It's always kids on the bus. It's always kids on the bus. Don't talk to boys. That's what I said. Don't talk to boys. But then she's been going to middle school next year. Now, I don't mean more kids. It's be a mess. So I got to get to her before they do. So it's one of those things. I'll deal with it. But yeah, she's like, because you're like a celebrity. That's what she said. But I'm like, no, it's not like that. But anyway, what was I going to say? Back to this. I went off of the tangent there. Oh, Kouri Richins. That's what I thought of judging a book by its cover. And I did with her. Because I'm like, she couldn't do it. Look at her. She did that? No, it's got to be some sort of mistake. No, she's guilty as fuck. She's very, very, very guilty. Now, I will tell you one thing. In her closing statement, a lot of people are criticizing her closing statement. Runkle criticized it. A lot of others did too. And they said she buried herself with that closing statement. That she guaranteed herself life without parole. I got news for you. She was getting it either way. So if I was her, I don't blame her for that closing. I don't blame her for the allocution at the end there. Because she has been writing. So she was arrested sometime in late 2023. And for her first like 6 months in jail, she's talked to her kids every day on the phone from jail. And then April of 2024, Eric Richins' family got them. And they were like, you are not talking to her ever again. And she's never talked to them. And she's written them letters, apparently. They got sent back to the jail and all this stuff. So she has been unable to reach her kids for 2 years. And then in court, the kids' letters are read out loud from the social workers, basically saying, fuck you, mom. You're not my mom, Kouri. Fuck you, Kouri. They call her Kouri. And we hate you. We never want to see you again. We're scared of you. We don't miss you. Like, to shit that, like, she didn't even seem bothered by it. Like, it was crazy. She was making faces like, yeah, right. And so I'm like, so she's apparently been writing, but you know, she's their mom still. Like, imagine that if you're like the kids like that. That's your mom. How do you just? That's got to be so confusing for them. Like, some of those statements that they read, I'm like, I don't believe. I'm not saying the kids didn't write those, but they sound a little coached. You know, they sound a little bit coached. It's just weird for a kid who, up until 2 years ago, was talking to her mom all the time. When she was in jail, was talking to her. And then all of a sudden, they're just like, fuck you, Kouri. It just seemed a little bit rehearsed, if you will. I'm not convinced that they just wrote that totally on their own. So anyway, she might be a bad mom. I'm sure she's a horrible mom. She killed her fucking dad, obviously. But if you're in her position and you're trying to reach your kids and you've been sending letters home that are coming back to the jail regretting them, wouldn't you take this opportunity to do exactly what she did? And that's get in front of a microphone and talk directly to the kids. Because it's all you care about. I mean, it's like, whatever. You're going to jail for life no matter what. You know that. You're going to jail for life. That judge is not going to, he's not going to give you parole. It's not going to happen. You're going to jail for life for no parole. So you might as well get in front of that microphone and try to say something to the kids. Because you know that message is going to get to them. They're going to hear it. They're going to be watching. If they're not watching, their friends are going to tell them about it, and they're going to watch it. And they can either take it or leave it. Right? So, you know, if you're those kids, I mean, if I was her, a lot of people are shitting on her for that closing statement. And was it tone deaf? And is she a psychopath? Sure, all that above. But I would 1000% have done what she did. Because you can't you'll never have a microphone like that again in front of you and cameras and millions of people watching. That's your only chance to send a message to the kids. I don't blame her for doing that. I don't blame her. I think she's a murderer. I think she's guilty, but I don't blame her for doing that. I think, what the fuck does she have to lose at that point? She was going to get life without parole no matter what. So fuck it. At that point, fuck it. Let's do it. That's the way I see it. That's just me. But if she loved her kids, she wouldn't kill their father. I agree with that. I'm not saying that she loves her kids or anything like that. Well, in her mind, she does, but she's crazy. That's just because she tried the first time and failed. And that's what makes it even more diabolical. That she tried poisoning him the first time and there wasn't enough fentanyl. And she could have walked away at that point, but like, you know what? Actually, that was a close call. Do I really want to kill him? That seems a bit extreme. Somebody says, I could never put someone in prison for life or death without 100% proof. I wouldn't gamble with someone's life on circumstantial evidence. So yeah, let's talk about that. Oh, by the way, let me read some. I'm going to read some memberships in a minute because Laura will kill me if I don't. But let's talk about that case a little, shall we? And by the way, let me just read some membership stuff here. We have Mr. Monk's understudy. Welcome. I didn't know you were a member. Welcome, sir. Welcome aboard. Oh, we got J.E. Walsh just tossing around memberships on all sorts of channels these days. I'm glad I'm not left out. Thank you very much, J.E. Walsh. Giving out 20 memberships. So congratulations to the 20 winners. If you guys won, don't forget to resubscribe, because it's like a test run, they say. Thank you. Cupcakes for Justice tossed around 5. Thank you very much, Cupcakes. I appreciate that. Top 5 memberships. New member here, Redacted, doing Redacted. Awesome to see. We got another member here. Let's go, Turtleboy. Can't wait for the fundraiser. Awesome. We have Lisa Can't Stand You says, can't wait for tomorrow's festivities. Let's get it. Awesome. Thank you. Sunshine Cheryl says, looking forward to tomorrow. Me too. Me too. A new YouTube member. It's Katie. Awesome. Not Katie. Trust is Love says, hello, Journalism Jesus. Good luck with the fundraiser tomorrow. I can't wait. Me too. Me too. The Crooked Eye Ostrich Neck says, can't wait for mega fundraiser tomorrow. We got turtles to free. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Thank you very much. Next witness is a member for 7 months. It says, excited to spend 12 hours with you tomorrow. Dude, 12 hours. It's going to be fun. I got a crock pot ready to go. Towards the end of the night, maybe a little wine. Maybe we'll see how things go. I think Trent's going to be here. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Fuck yeah, Nick and Jimmy. Hopefully a little of Will. I'm just so excited. My money is ready. Yeah, I can't wait. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Thank you. Lori says, can't wait for tomorrow. So excited for you. Thank you so much, Lori. Erica Walsh, she says, what's invisible and smells like carrots? Why don't you just tell me? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. Colleen says, you need a mom prom fundraiser. What's that? You'll make bank. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you. I'm Craptacular. Is a member for 1 month. Welcome. Also a new member, Lollybop. Awesome. And Sarah B. Creative says, looking forward to tomorrow and many other days. Hashtag Free Turtle Boy. Awesome. The Crash on Netflix. I told somebody that I watch it with them. And I do intend on doing that. It's like how you like promise somebody that you're going to watch it with them. And you're like, yeah, but I really want to watch it. I really want to watch it. So I'm doing that. So yeah, I'm going to watch it with Trent's mom. Right. But I'm like, I really want to watch it though, but I've held off. So that's the Mackenzie Shirilla documentary. That's another true. That's one that I'm into. I'm into the Mackenzie Shirilla story just because she's so ratchet. I can't stop watching her. She's so ratchet. I listen to all her jailhouse calls. I was playing them on Turtle Club the other night. If you guys don't know her, she's the girl from Ohio who in 2022 drove 100 miles an hour into a wall and killed her boyfriend, who I think was breaking up with her at the time, and another kid named Davion, who was just along for the ride, killed them both. And then just went so ratchet. Somehow she survived. I think it was a suicide attempt. I think she wanted them all to die because she's fucking nuts. And yeah. And then so she wasn't arrested until like months later. But during the months when she was free, it was like she was just gone full ratchet. And so looking forward to watching that documentary. Also watching on Netflix, not to change the subject here, Lord of the Flies. I loved that book. I loved that book. I remember reading that book, like, yo, this is crazy. These kids are killing each other and shit. God damn, Piggy. God, they killed Piggy. Those bastards. And so there's a documentary not documentary. There's like a show. Lord of the Flies is a show. I'm like, oh, I'm watching that. This is like Hunger Game on steroids. Like all these little boys killing each other on islands, the British boys, all proper and shit. And it's so good. We started watching that. It's so good. And I'm only on episode 1. So like, that's the thing. I got a lot of Netflix stuff to watch. We got that. And then we got the Mackenzie Shirley doc. And every time I watch these true crime docs, guys, I just think how awesome ours is going to be, my doc. And we got the sizzle. You guys don't get to see the sizzle. So how it works is they make a sizzle, and it's like a 7-minute video that they use to market the documentary to potential buyers. And since it looks like I think Netflix canceled the sandpaper thing because there's nobody's talking about that anymore. Nobody's buzzing about it. So as far as Karen Reed documentaries go, right now I think ours is the only one in town. So you know, and it's going to be so good. It's going to be like a 5 or 6 episode documentary, and it's going to have tons of footage. They've gotten so much footage. It's going to be great. And so your doc needs to get out, get the shit with us out. Totally understand that. Hopefully by the end of the year, that's the goal. Because you got to get a buyer, and then you got to get it done. And so this doesn't happen overnight. But luckily, you know, the way my case has gone with like the and this is good. This is Bobby Boulders, I think. It says Netflix is about money. They realize there's no money on a documentary about a bunch of people that covered up murder. Exactly, especially making them the good guys. I think they realized on verdict day what a horrible mistake they made. That they invested all this time and money into a loser case, and they just didn't understand the culture. They talked to the wrong people. They talked to Gretchen Voss, who told them that the McAlberts are the good guys and that people love them and I'm the bad guy. And then they go to the courthouse and they see crowds chanting my name and me coming out there like a fucking boss on the courthouse stairs, and everyone's cheering for me and booing John DePetro. And they're like, fuck, what have we done? What have we done? And I think that's what happened. So, but anyway, every time I watch that happen, every time I watch the whole, like, any documentary like Mackenzie Shirilla or whatever, I'm like, God damn, you know, ours is way better than this. I have not followed. I see people talk about Buffalo in the comments. What game is that? Montreal's leading that series 3-2. Okay. And then I think the Golden Knights have defeated the Ducks. Okay. So they're going to play the Avalanche. And then the NBA. What about the NBA? Ever since I know the fucking Sixers fucking swept them. Oh, the Cavaliers won, huh? No, the Cavaliers are going to game 7. So they won so the Pistons won at Cleveland. Okay. Well, that's interesting. The Spurs have won that series. Okay. All right. So we're down to, all right. We'll see. All right. Anyway, sorry. Ever since the Celtics and the Bruins crapped out, I've lost that interest, but yeah, I mean, the Avalanche look great. And so do the Hurricanes. I think we're on a collision course for those two teams. All right. Anyway, back to this. What were we talking about? Oh, Kouri Richins. So, wait, were we talking about Kouri Richins? I don't even remember. I think we were. So I want to watch here. Dude, I decided, I'm like, you know what I want to show on here? I want to talk about, it was a while ago, but I want to show the Kouri Richins private investigator guy. Kouri Richins trial day. What was it? 9? How many days did she have? Day 10. Okay. All right. So this guy might be my favorite witness of all time after Dr. La Posada. And I think we just need to watch some of him because I guess Kouri hired this guy and it just backfired completely on him. And I think the guy was like a big reason that she was ultimately convicted. This guy is just the man. So I did not fully appreciate this guy until I watched it. I'm like, this guy is awesome. So we're going to watch it together and it's going to be fun. All right. And yeah, another thing, last thing before I forget, there was apparently a thing for in Medway today, a meet and greet with all the DA candidates, and they all took a picture, and Adam Deitch was down there and Greg Conner was down there and all this stuff. And I just couldn't help but think, how is no one asking Greg Conner? Like, how does it feel that Michael Morrissey didn't think you were capable enough to prosecute Karen Reed. You work for him, you get paid by the taxpayers, and he was like, you're not good enough. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to beg Karen Spilka and Ron Mariano for $1 million so I can hire Hank Brennan. She didn't hire him. Who hired him? The Richins family hired him. Oh, okay. All right, let's go. We got to watch this guy. This guy's a trip. Let's go watch him. I am not that familiar with this case. So like a lot of the Kouri Richins stuff, if you're big into this case, again, I'm not an expert on this case. I'm no shit on this case. So I watched a lot of it for the first time. So I'm going to be watching this. I've seen part of the highlights of this, but I want to watch this guy and just share my thoughts with it live. Let's go.
All right, how's this?
Sound great.
Great.
Mr. Bloodworth, please proceed.
Sir, what is your name?
My name is Todd Gabler, Gabler.
You appear to be recovering from something.
Yes.
Would you mind just at a high level explaining?
On January 13th, I underwent a 5-level PCLF. That's a posterior cervical laminectomy infusion. My neck has been fused together with titanium rods.
So are you taking any medication today that would affect your testimony?
I purposely did not take any pain medication today for the purpose of the clarity of my mind in my testimony to you today. I took Tylenol this morning.
So he's just in pain.
What, sir, is your occupation?
I'm a licensed private investigator in the state of Utah.
How long have you been a private investigator?
34 years.
What, sir, is your investigative experience that is relevant to this case?
Well, over the course of 34 years, I have worked on approximately 100 homicide cases. I have been active in the trials of perhaps a dozen or maybe more homicide cases over the course of my career. I have extensive experience in a specialty in digital forensics, which allows me to examine digital devices, phones, computers, other things of a digital nature to uncover information that may have been deleted, destroyed, or altered. I can't really think of anything else that is sort of a 30,000-foot view of what would be important to the jurors in this case regarding my experience.
Well, sir, of those 100 or so homicide cases, how many have you worked for the defense?
All of them. I have always sat on that side of the room, standing in between the state and a defendant.
And you mentioned, sir, that you testified about 12 times. Have you ever testified for the state?
Never.
Did there come a time shortly after Eric Richins' death when the estate of Eric Richins hired you as an investigator?
Yes.
Do you recall about when?
I was first contacted by Crystal Bowman Carter, an attorney. I believe that would have been
she interviewed
early
him?
to mid-March of 2022. She asked that I contact her client, Kouri Richins Benson, regarding the death of her brother, Eric. She gave me a broad sketch of what she knew about what had occurred regarding Eric's death. And it was a very short conversation, very professional, very to the point.
Imagine if Eric Richins' family hired a private investigator when they had the police that could do it for them. You know what that means? That they give a shit about their brother. That they wanted answers, and that they just didn't think the police were good enough, I guess. They wanted answers. Maybe Peggy O'Keefe and Paul O'Keefe should take notice of that. That this is what you do when you give a shit about your family member and you want answers. And as far as I know, the police in Utah were not comically incompetent like they were in Canton. Were they? So they really, I mean, hiring this guy, this is like sending your kids to St. John's when you live in Shrewsbury or Holden or some town, like a nice town, right? What's the point of living in a nice town if you're going to send your kids to Catholic school and pay all that shit? It's like they live in it. They, as far as I know, the police did a good job on this case, and they still hired this guy because they wanted what's best for their son. They wanted what's best for Eric Richins. And so why didn't imagine if Peggy and Paul O'Keefe had hired their own private investigator who could look into this? You know why they didn't? Well, you know why Paul put an extension on his house instead? Because he knew what they were going to say. He knew what they would find out. Any private investigator would reach the same conclusion that Paul Makowski did, that all these people did, that Karen Reed was innocent. So anyway, back to this.
And then it was a few more weeks before I first spoke with Katie and Clint. That's Kouri Richins Benson and Clint Benson at their home in Summit County. That was April the 1st, 2022.
And was that engagement to investigate the death of Eric Richins?
Well, that was part of the investigation. I was under the impression that I had been hired at the instance of the filing of a lawsuit by the defendant in this case against Katie for the trust money and the control over the trust that Eric Richins had created.
And to be clear, the lawsuit involved Kouri Richins as trustee.
Correct.
And when you're interacting with Kouri Richins, it is in her capacity as trustee.
Correct.
Or personal representative of Eric Richins' estate.
Correct.
What, if anything, sir, did you inform at that meeting with Clint and Katie? What, if anything, did you inform them of how you conduct investigations?
Right. So I talked with them about some of the various facets of an investigation, how it would proceed. I've already talked to you about the qualifications that I have in digital forensics. And so I talked a little bit about that, about the need to get a hold of phones and computers and other things that would have evidence of either a wrongful death or some mismanagement of finances that was being alleged in the case. So for all my clients, it's basically the same speech. You're hiring me to find the truth. The truth is sometimes very difficult for us to accept. Oh. I've often said that the truth is half what you most fear.
Imagine if a private investigator had said this to Paul O'Keefe, and this is why they didn't hire a PI. This is why they didn't hire a PI.
That it is, and half what you most desire it to be. And you cannot separate those two from the truth. I told them that they would have to accept the truth about what happened to their brother, no matter what that truth was. If he took his own life, they would have to accept that. If someone was responsible for his death, they would also have to respect my investigation and accept that truth. They agreed.
Sir, from that point forward, did you conduct an independent investigation?
I did.
Sir, who paid for that investigation?
I was paid by Clint Benson, but my understanding is that the legal sort of line of authority for which I was engaged was the estate and Kouri Richins Benson as the personal representative.
Did you bill them at your customary rate?
I did. I continued to bill them at the rate that was established at the time of my engagement, even though my hourly rate increased during the course of my investigation. They enjoyed a lower rate essentially because of the time that that they engaged.
They got grandfathered in. This guy's wild.
Did anyone else pay you for your investigation?
No.
Did anyone from the Summit County Sheriff's Office direct your investigation in any fashion?
No.
Did you conduct your investigation entirely independent of the Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
Did you provide information from your investigation to the Sheriff's Office?
Yes, on many occasions.
Yes, on
and
many.
Before providing it, did you receive approval from your client?
Yes, that is part of the standard operating procedure. It would be a crime for me to, under the Utah Private Investigators Regulation Act, to have any file materials go to anyone else but my client without my client's permission. So the standard course would be that I would discuss my findings with my client, and we would discuss handing that over to the Sheriff's Office. In every case, information that we thought important to the investigation was handed over, and there was no event, no occasion upon which we decided not to turn over something to the Sheriff's Office. Full disclosure. That was the rule.
Sir, was that flow of information one way from you to the Sheriff's Office?
Oh, yes, very much.
So this case was really simple. Either Eric Richins was a drug addict or she poisoned him. I mean, right? He had 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in his system. So either Eric Richins had a bad fentanyl habit that not many people knew about, or she tried to kill him. It's got to be one or the other, right? There's no other solution. And, you know, we know how Kouri's family feels, but the Richins family feels otherwise. And you're right. A lot of people are like, well, would they want to accept the fact that if he was a drug addict, would they accept that fact? That's going to be her defense, you know?
So I initially tried to get the 911 audio call that the defendant in this case had made, and the Sheriff's Office denied my request under the ground law. I appealed to the county administrator for Summit County. She also denied my request. So, yeah, it's common for police agencies to be one-way streets.
So it was not uncommon for your request for information to be denied?
Correct. My investigation proceeded regardless of whether they were providing me any information or not.
Did you have contact with the Summit County Attorney's Office before Kouri Richins' arrest?
No.
Did anyone from the Summit County Attorney's Office direct your investigation in any fashion?
Never.
Did you conduct your investigation independent of the County Attorney's Office?
Yes.
On June the 15th, 2023, after Kouri Richins' arrest, did you receive a subpoena from the County Attorney's Office for your investigative file and any forensic data that you had collected?
I did.
Did you provide that material to the County Attorney's Office in response to that subpoena?
I did. I produced 2 hard drives. One contained what I call the logical and physical investigation file. That would be interviews, audio recordings, photographs, videos. That was a fairly large file. And then the second hard drive that I provided a few weeks later was all the computer forensics, the digital forensics, the examinations of the C&E computer, a clone of Eric's iPhone, and some other digital data.
Did you begin your investigation with a hypothesis?
Yes. A number of hypotheses appeared clear to me in this case. My investigations are hypothesis testing exercises. That's just a fancy way of talking about something that we all do every day. We look at a situation and we evaluate what that is. Is there evidence that supports our hypothesis that that is what it is? Well, if we're looking at a red light, our hypothesis may be that traffic should be stopped, and we look around for data to verify that hypothesis. Yes. Number 2, Kouri Richins surreptitiously had Eric ingest a massive amount of fentanyl and killed him. So, as the case proceeds, and I see new data, I see phone data, I see computer data, I interview people, I look at documents or things or other devices. All of that data gets fed into one of those 2 hypotheses, both of those hypotheses. Does this confirm it? Does it deny it? Does this evidence make it more likely that this hypothesis is true or less likely that this hypothesis is true? Does this evidence preclude the possibility of one of the hypotheses being true? So that hypothesis testing continues throughout the investigation. And sometimes a permutation of the hypothesis comes along. We have to change the hypothesis just a little bit to allow some of the data to fit that hypothesis. Not large permutations.
People like saying cross is the best. Okay, we'll try to get to the cross.
In this case, pretty straightforward. 2 competing hypotheses.
So you just mentioned that in testing your hypotheses, you conducted some interviews.
Yes.
What sort of your process for conducting interviews?
So my process is to always have a recording device active for any of my interviews whenever possible. This eliminates any possibility for me to be biased or unclear in my reporting of what was said during that interview. It also protects me in a liability scenario if someone were to allege that I had done something improper or had offered them material for their cooperation, anything like that. That would all be protection for me by recording that contact. So that is the lawyer to listen to an entire interview. There's some difficulty that they have with that. So they need a summary sheet about what the interview was. So that would be my process with respect to an interview, all interviews.
Approximately how many interviews did you conduct in this investigation?
It depends upon your definition of an interview, I guess, but 45 probably.
45 interviews.
40, I guess we could say 40 to 50.
It's a lot.
To be safe.
And in those interviews, did you identify yourself?
Oh, yes, always. There was no occasion in this case where I did not identify, give people my true identity and who I represented.
And did you record those interviews?
Yes. I think there were a couple of occasions where I could not get a recorder fast enough. But other than those couple of occasions, they were all recorded.
Oh. What a horrible thing to do.
Who, for example, are some of the people that you interviewed?
I interviewed friends and associates of Eric's. I interviewed friends and associates of Kouri's. I interviewed a number of people involved in Eric's business and personal life. I interviewed family members, both the Richins family, and I attempted to interview family members of Kouri's family, but was not successful in gaining their cooperation for an interview. So that was generally who I interviewed.
And what's the purpose to test your hypotheses?
Well, yes, I'm interested in getting those interviews done from as many people as I possibly can from both sides of the camp so that I can get the largest possible data set to feed into that hypothesis testing scenario.
Did you pass your interview recordings and written reports along to the sheriff's office?
I did.
Sir, as part of your hypothesis testing, did you analyze Kouri and Eric Richins' cell phone billing records?
I did.
How did you obtain the records?
Eric and Kouri's cell phones were being paid by C&E, Stonemasonry. They were Verizon accounts. And I obtained the the billing records of 2022 through May of 2022.
January of 2022 onward time period, what types of information were you looking for in the billing records?
So because the billing records don't really offer content, that is to say, it's not you don't get to see text messages or what the text, and then we begin to count the total number of contacts with that phone number. So for example, we would see the highest number of contacts for Kouri's phone to her mother. Not an unusual circumstance that someone would be close to their mother, and that would be the highest number of contacts on your phone. So that was the procedure that I was initially interested in, was the wait. We call that the wait. So what is occasionally I'm interested in what time of day you typically contact that?
Contact wait along to the sheriff's office.
I did.
Was there any particular contact wait that caught your attention?
Yes.
Whoa, what is it?
What contact did that involve?
It involved the contact with Carmen Lauder.
Wow.
I noted immediately that there were many hundreds of text messages between the two from the initial data set. That was January of 22.
Well, Carmen Lauder is the housekeeper who provided her with the fentanyl and ended up getting arrested herself and testified for the state of Utah in this case.
In May of 22, there was a very heavy wait. I don't recall if she was the second or third wait, but it was very close. The only two people that I recall that were ahead of Carmen on that wait was Kouri's mom and Eric. So that was the one that stood out to me. There were others.
Not even her boyfriend?
But that one
she had a boyfriend.
Of particular interest to me.
And to be clear, that involved the wait of contacts between Kouri Richins and Carmen Lauder.
That is correct.
Did that contact wait cause you to investigate Carmen Lauder?
It did.
It did.
What did you determine?
Well, it was immediately apparent to me that Carmen had a very extensive criminal record involving drug use and potentially drug sales. I noted that Carmen had a dirty urinalysis, meaning that she tested positive for prohibited drugs in her drug court around the time of Eric's death. I was very concerned about the high number of contacts and the criminal history for Carmen, and I alerted the sheriff's office about that.
So the sheriff's office didn't know about that? The sheriff's office didn't go through her phone and see that she was talking to Carmen all the time? And they're like, yeah, we know Carmen. She's fucking always getting locked up. They didn't know? Why'd they need this guy to do that? That's odd.
As part of your investigation, did you search the Richins' home?
Yes.
When did you first search it?
I believe it was May the 8th of 2023. That was the day that it was released by the sheriff's office. It was an estate asset. Kouri's lawyer, two of her lawyers from Ray Quinny Naviker, had showed up as soon as the sheriff's office had departed. And I had arranged for security to stand watch at the house after the sheriff's office released that. So I engaged in a conversation with counsel who wanted access to the home, and it was eventually agreed that one of the lawyers would accompany me on an inventory of the property, all of the assets in the house, all of the items in the house, in the detached garage. And so that lawyer stayed for a couple of hours and then left.
So it says Kouri, so he died in February of 2022. She was arrested on May 8th, I guess, 2023. And then he went into the house. Because I'm like, how did he get in the house if she was still there? So she was in jail. She got arrested.
I never saw them during my search of the property again. I continued to search the property for 4 or 5 days. And then that was the end of my contact with the house initially.
And what was your process for searching and documenting your search of the Richins' home?
Right. So GoPro video, chest mounted, typically, sometimes mounted on the head, and a backup audio recorder just in case something happens to the camera. At least I've got an audio recording of what I'm talking about, where I'm at, what I'm looking at. So that is the procedure for documenting those. There's also photographs that are taken. There are also, with respect to documents, I scanned with a scanner many thousands of pages of documents in this case from the detached garage office. So that was the general procedure. So my video camera. So I used the audio recorder and my camera.
Search the home. And I guess by present, I mean in the home, not necessarily leaning over your shoulder.
That is not an easy question to answer because my focus was not on Clint Benson. My focus is on the things in front of me. I was never in that house without Clint Benson's authorization. I was never in that house without Clint Benson being on his way. So if he wasn't there when I got there, he was on his way there. And so he would join up later. It's possible during the May searches that Clint had left the house while I was documenting things in the house. I think that was particularly true of the detached garage office, where I was spending maybe 8 hours in a day just scanning documents, just feeding documents into a scanning device. So I think Clint was likely not there during that.
He was generally there?
He was generally there, I would say so, yeah.
Audio, GoPro, all of that.
Yeah.
Did you ever bring anything into that?
No, I did not.
Did you ever remove anything from the home?
Yes, I did.
What did you remove from the home?
So during my May searches of the house, and in particular in the detached garage office, I encountered a number of documents that had Ray Quinian Nebeker letterhead on the top, and they were either communications between Kouri and her lawyers, or they were billing records from her lawyers. That would be improper for me to read or possess. It would be unethical. I placed these documents into a manila envelope, and as I encountered more of them, I would simply grab a hold of them and put them into the manila envelope. And at the end of my May search, I took that envelope to the office of Ray Quinian Nebeker and handed it over. There were other things that I removed from the house, sort of the general category of the kids, the boys things. The boys had requested a few things. I believe Child Protective Services or someone at DCFS had requested that we get documents that pertain to the boys. And I believe there were some other documents that I removed that were personal documents that were now the property of Kouri Richins Benson. These documents involved vital records, birth records for Eric, other vital documents that we would generally safe keep for ourselves, and I turned those over to my client. I'm trying to think if anything else was removed by the sheriff's office, not me.
So if you came upon something that you considered to be evidence, how did you handle it with the sheriff's office?
I don't think there was a standard approach. I only recall a few occasions, and then on one occasion I contacted Travis, the investigator with your office, and then subsequently I spoke to the sheriff. I was there for one of those occasions.
Thank you, sir. I don't have any further questions.
Thank you.
All right, so then we get the cross. Look at her. Look at the face she's making. She makes this face all the time. Like, you can get away with that if you can't read because she's innocent. If the facts aren't piling up the right way, that the jury's not going to like that. I don't think. I'm just saying.
Are we gonna take a break? Or go forward?
You tell me. Would you like a break? Could we have
It's
just
up to
step there? Hold on. There you go. Okay.
So then we come back. Now everyone says the cross is the best.
All right, folks, have a seat. Thank you. All right, Mr. Gabler, you're still under oath, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Please
sir.
record.
Please proceed.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Ms. Nestor.
I don't believe you and I've ever met, but I am Kathy, and I'm Kathy Nestor, and I'm one of Ms. Richins' attorneys. So it's nice to meet you. So I want to just kind of start with a basic observation that just to make it crystal clear. You are not law enforcement, correct?
Correct.
And you've never been law enforcement in your whole life, right?
Correct.
Okay. And the rules and ethics and expected practices of private investigators are significantly different, would you agree with me, than those that apply to licensed law enforcement?
I don't know that I would agree with that in every circumstance. A private investigator, when he is hired by a lawyer, is bound to all the ethics that lawyer is bound to.
Okay.
So,
but for example, you don't have to go get a warrant to go look at a house.
well, that's the state action distinction.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not a state actor.
Right.
I've never been a state actor.
Right.
I will never be a state actor.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you want to go search a house for 6 straight days and look at thousands of documents, you don't need to get a judge to give you permission to do that, right?
No, I got the permission of Kouri's lawyers who represented her to do that.
And you also got the permission of Clint Benson, right?
Yes.
And in fact, Clint gave you a key,
Yes.
and you had that key to use at your discretion.
Yes.
And there were times when you would go to the house and Clint was not there and you would let yourself in, right?
I believe that my testimony covered that, and that was that Clint was aware that I was there, and he was either on his way or there with me.
But you agree with me, and you have videos, I believe, that back this up. But there were occasions where you would go to the house, Clint was not there, you'd use your key, and you'd go in.
Yes.
And there were occasions where you would be spending hours and hours and hours in the office, because I've watched all the videos,
Yes.
and you would be there alone without Clint anywhere around you.
Yeah, I don't need supervision, counselor.
Perfect.
I was conducting an investigation, independent investigation, and he had given me the key, trusted me with that, and I was authorized to enter that premises.
I
at
don't
my
need
own.
supervision.
Right. So if he got on the stand and said you were never doing anything outside his eye, that would be false.
Well, from his perspective, he had knowledge of my presence there, as I had testified every time I was there.
Fair.
So from his perspective, it may look different.
Do you agree with me, sir, that there's hours and hours and hours of video of you alone in that office going through things?
I think that I've already testified to that.
Okay. Now, you were not permitted access to the house until after Kouri had been arrested, right?
No, that's not correct.
You got in the house before she was arrested?
No, that is not correct.
Okay, help me out.
The house was released by the Summit County Sheriffs on the 8th.
Okay.
That's what gave us, that was the trigger, not Kouri's arrest. It was the end of their search that triggered our access to the house.
Okay.
The police were executing a warrant.
Do you know when Kouri was arrested, sir?
I don't recall the exact date or time.
Would it surprise you to be the day before May 7th?
Okay.
All right. So
Objection, Your Honor.
That was the day after. That she was arrested
I was
May
going to
8th.
re-ask the question.
This
Just
is
answer.
May.
sorry, was it May? Would it surprise you if it was the same day, May 8th, that you got access
I was
to
going
the
to
house?
It does
say.
not surprise me since I do not recall.
Okay. And during the time after Eric's death, but before Kouri's arrest on May 8th, did you ever go inside the house for that entire year?
I'm sorry, could you ask that again?
Sure. During the time between when Eric Richins died on March the 4th, in the early morning hours of 2022, and May 8th of 2023, were you ever inside the house at any point in between those times?
No, never.
Perfect. So the first time you ever got in that house, over a year had expired since Eric had passed.
Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned the police had executed a search that day before they released it to you, right?
Yes.
And do you know how many times prior to that the police had searched that house?
No.
Okay. And then you've also testified here, I think very honestly, that on repeated occasions you notified the police, hey, there's something you missed. You might want to go back to the house and find it again.
I mean, I'm not going to adopt your characterization, but it is true that I called them back to that house when I discovered something that I thought was evidentiary.
How many times?
Oh, I don't know, 4 or 5.
So on at least 4 to 5 occasions,
She
you
always
found
did.
things the police had missed.
Yeah, that's been my experience throughout my career.
And you
the
told
police
me.
never get everything, ever.
Right. Well, I'm
It's
not going to
true in
argue.
every case I've ever handled.
Sure, not going to argue with you on that one.
Yeah, it's true.
So they come back because you call them and say, hey, I found something, come back, here's where it is.
Yep.
And they know you're doing that. They know that you have full access to this house, right?
I don't know what they know. I can't answer that.
Well, you're calling them every time you find something.
Well, what opinion they formed in their mind is not within my knowledge.
Okay, fair. True, you called them every time you found something.
That I thought was of evidentiary value in their investigation.
And did any of them ever say, you know what, we're good, stop calling us?
No, I don't recall that at all.
So then the converse of that is they encourage you to keep doing that.
Well, no, that is not the converse of your hypothetical, and I do not agree with your assessment.
Okay. Did you feel like you were helping them?
I was following the instructions of my client to turn over anything I thought was relevant to the criminal investigation. This is not my case. My case is in the civil court. Anything that we thought was of value to the criminal case, we turned it over.
And the police were happy with that.
I don't know if they were happy or sad or distraught. I have no idea as to their emotional condition.
They sure never told you to stop.
The police never directed me to do anything, and if they had told me to stop, I would have ignored them.
Okay. So you could go in without a warrant, find something, call them, tell them to get a warrant, and they'd come get it.
I think that's an oversimplification and a vilification. I had permission to enter those premises.
That's
I had every right
badass.
to be there. I didn't need a warrant. I'm not a state actor. I have the permission of the property owner. So I don't agree with your characterization.
When the cops would show up, did you point out what you were showing them? Were you usually there?
No, I was there on one occasion when the police showed up. They executed warrants when I was not there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I only remember one occasion where I found an audio recorder in a dresser drawer that they then recovered by warrant.
And you waited around and pointed it out to them?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I never touched the device. Okay. So yeah, I would. I don't know if I pointed it out. I think what I did was on that date, when I saw the recorder and recognized it for what it was, which is not easy, I just immediately withdrew. I left my audio recorder going until the police arrived. I don't recall pointing it out. I recall describing to them where it was.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. So then there was one occasion where you found something that was a letter purportedly written by Eric called the My Princess letter. Do you remember that?
Ooh, My Princess.
I remember a Baby Cakes letter. I don't know if I remember My Princess. Is that the same
That's
one?
the one.
Yeah.
Baby
Do you remember
Cakes.
finding that letter?
March the 9th of 2024 is when I took a photograph of that, but I found it on May the 10th of 2023 during my search of the residence.
So when you found this letter, at some point, did you move the location that you found it from?
I don't recall ever moving the location. On the video, you will see me find the letter on May the 10th of 2023 when I'm in the bedroom, and it is located in the bottom drawer of Eric's side of the bed, the bottom drawer of the vanity. And I looked at it. I didn't think it was relevant. I put it back down in the drawer. On August the 9th of 2024, when I photographed it on the bed,
2024.
I do not recall if that letter was on the bed or whether I went and retrieved it from the vanity. But there is video. The August 9th, 2024 was the episode that I described that I was called over and I didn't have a video recorder. So I was recording by audio and this is the same date that I recovered the audio recorder. So the letter was also photographed. And then later, I think it was taken by the police. I don't know. But
Let me stop you for just a minute.
okay.
You left the letter on the master bed, correct? For the police to find.
I left the letter on the master bed. I didn't know that the police were going to come for it.
Okay. And they ultimately did, correct?
Well, ultimately, I don't know because I wasn't present, so that's beyond my knowledge.
Isn't it true
It
that you
was a
moved other things
fake
around
letter?
the house often?
No, that's not true.
Did you move a computer that you located in the office?
I don't recall moving a computer in the office, but I did not move it out of the office.
Did you put it in your Tesla?
What's going on here with this letter? This is a fake letter? A fake gay love letter? Is that what you're saying here? I'll read the chat. I'll keep I don't know anything about this. First time reading
If you were talking about the C&E computer, I did not find it in the office. That is not how that worked.
Okay. So you found it where, sir?
I found it in possession of my client who had taken it, who had been given it or taken it from Becky Lloyd. So my understanding of the pathway of the C&E computer that I examined was that it was picked up by Becky, who lives nearby and works for C&E. The C&E computer, she then went to get business files off of it. I talked with her about this. I filed an extensive report regarding my interview about the computer. And then before I could get up to Francis to get that computer, I lived at the time 250 miles south of Francis in Washington County, so it takes me a while to get up to Francis. Before I could get up to get that computer, I believed that my client had already secured it, and so I went and got it from her.
So Becky got the computer from the house after Eric died,
Yep,
right?
correct.
Then Becky gave it to Katie.
Correct.
And Katie gave it to you.
Correct.
And then all of that, no law enforcement ever put hands on it.
Correct.
And at some point, you took it back up to the office to go through it?
No.
Right. Well, there's video of you going through that computer in the office.
I suppose that I may not have remembered that I went through a computer in that office, but the C&E computer was processed at a location in Midway, and I recall that there was what I want to say is an obvious missing hard drive location. I could see the outlines of a hard drive that had been in place in that computer. I became suspicious that the hard drive had been removed prior to me getting to that computer. I later sourced that to locate that inside the computer.
Okay. So can we play for the witness only clip TG10?
Oh, here we go, a clip.
I'm sorry, it's GXO10, Your Honor. So we'll get to that.
With keeping my head up.
Oh, no worries. Whatever you need, sir, to be comfortable.
He puts on his okay. He's really putting that thing on.
I remember that, yes. But that was not the C&E computer.
You don't recall putting
I'd have to see the video. That's why I make them.
You removed a laptop from the office and put it in your Tesla and drove away with it.
I don't recall that.
My
No,
Tesla?
I do not. That would have been if there was a laptop in that office, it was mine.
Okay, well, we're going to pull it up in just a minute. I'll help refresh your memory.
Yeah.
Also, you mentioned earlier that you didn't take, other than the vital records and the attorney-client privilege records, that you didn't take anything else out of the home. That's not entirely true. You also took a safe out of the house?
Yeah, I described that by report, but that safe was returned.
Okay, so you went into the house with your own key, correct?
Yes.
You went into the family, I believe is in the master closet, is that right? Where was
Yes.
it? You picked it up, took it out of the house, and put it in your Tesla.
Your Tesla?
Yes, I believe I did that at the request of Clint Benson.
Okay. And then you drove it to a locksmith,
I did.
and you busted into the safe.
I did not bust into the safe.
Well, he did.
He bumped. He used a technique called bumping. It's the movement of the door and the frame of the safe that allows it to come open.
Okay, but you didn't have a combination.
I don't know if that was a combination. I thought there was a key to that one.
It was forced open with a hammer, right?
I think it was a rubber mallet, and it was dropped into the ground.
Okay.
I think that's what eventually got it open, was that it was dropped onto a flat surface.
And when you were doing that, there's no law enforcement there, correct?
I don't need law enforcement to babysit me.
Okay. And you open it up, and there's clips from guns in there, right?
I would have to go back to my report to recall exactly what was in there.
But you handled it with your bare hands, no gloves.
I did.
All right. And I'm sorry. You also found an unusual residue in the safe. Do you recall that? That you touched with your fingers?
I don't recall that.
All right. We'll play that in a second.
Fantastic.
I do think we found the video of the laptop. So can we queue up for the witness only GXO10073
Yes.
and then loading them into your laptop?
Into my laptop, the documents that I am going through at the office. That is my laptop.
The black one?
Yes.
Okay. So you're scanning all the documents you're finding in the office and then loading them into your laptop?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And again, Clint Benson was not present when you were doing any of this?
Yes, that is my testimony on direct.
Okay.
Anybody know where she's going with this? What progress has she made on this guy so far? So yes, yes, that's me. I'm in the office. I don't get where she's going with this. She keeps talking about the Tesla.
Now let's go to the one of the safe. Can you pull up the clip 100055? Hold on just a moment. Residue and filming it and asking the safe breaker if that was unusual to find residue in a safe?
I don't recall that. I would have to refer back to the video that I made of that for just this purpose.
Okay, no worries. So my understanding is you were at the house. There were some times before you got access to the house while Ms. Richins was still living there that you would sit outside her house and observe the house while she was in it. Is that fair?
It is not fair. That is false.
You never did that?
I never sat outside her house and watched her. False.
Not on March 9th of 2023?
Correct.
Not on April 12th of 2023?
Correct.
Okay. But you did put trackers on their cars, is that right?
I did.
And that's a secret device that you put on someone's car so you can follow where they're going without their knowledge?
So GPS tracking devices are generally covert, and
The tracking device on the car?
I put GPS devices on Kouri's vehicle and 2 of Lisa's vehicles, one of which was being used by Kouri's brother, Ronnie.
So her mother's cars and her car.
That's correct.
And how long did you track these individuals?
I think there were different times for different vehicles. I don't recall the exact amount of time, but that'll be in the file that you have.
And did you turn over your reports on every single place they went for months to law enforcement?
Yes.
And you know that law enforcement is required to have a warrant to do that.
Well, they have to get a warrant, and I have to go through a different procedure that's prescribed by Utah law to appropriately place those devices.
Did you track anybody else's car in this case?
I want to say yes. Yes, I did.
Who else's?
There were some vehicles that I suspected that Carmen Lauber may be utilizing. But I discovered that, in fact, the vehicle that was parked at her house overnight on many occasions was being driven by someone else.
So you never gave that report to law enforcement?
I believe I did.
You gave the Carmen Lauber tracking report to law enforcement?
Yes, it wouldn't be named Carmen Lauber, though.
What would it be named?
Oh. I want to say there were a number of people that were associated with her residence.
That's all right. If it's
There was
someone...
Nick Von Savage. There was another young man who were frequenting that residence.
This guy just knows everything. He's just got an answer for everything. This is not all they're showing is that this guy knows his shit and he's fucking confident in it, like I've never seen before.
And when I discovered that it wasn't Carmen driving the car, I removed the device.
Okay. Law enforcement was also providing you, I believe you said that...
this is cross, I know.
Asked you if you got information from law enforcement, and you said no. Is that right?
No, that is not right.
Okay, please correct me.
Well, I would have discussions with law enforcement. I could garner an understanding. I could read between the lines.
You want me to hire this
In
guy?
fact, you went to meetings with law enforcement about this case, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
How many times did you have meetings with them?
I don't recall. I don't count them.
Okay.
The number is not relevant to me.
Well, you appreciate it might be relevant to me? Can you try to remember?
Half a dozen.
Okay. Can you pull up TG11 for the witness only? Yep.
I can see it.
Do you recognize it?
I do.
Right, and is that an email that you sent to Detective Woody on July 13th of 2022?
I'm going to have difficulty talking about this exhibit because if it becomes an exhibit,
If it becomes an exhibit.
Confidential client communication. But I did send it to Detective Woody.
Okay.
Your Honor, I object to Mr. Gabler being required to testify regarding any claim.
With respect, I'm not sure you have standing to make any objections, and he seems fully attuned to the issue. Ms. Nestor, I'm not sure where we're headed, so just take it one question at a time.
I don't know where we're headed either. I have no idea
Is
where
it
we're
fair
going
to
with
say
this.
that this is an example of you suggesting to Detective Woody that now would be a really good time for law enforcement to interview Carmen Lauber?
Yes.
And why would that be, sir?
She's on the ropes in drug court is what it says.
Right.
She was on the ropes.
And in fact, what you argued was she would be very likely to be compliant at this point with law enforcement. Is that your
I
words?
see what you got out of there. He's giving him hints. but
Also in
that's
here,
okay.
you accused Kouri of lying about the name of her house cleaner.
Yes.
And the lie that you said Kouri told was that her house cleaner was her cute cleaner, Norma.
Yes.
In fact, didn't you, sir, finally confirm that Norma Garcia was her house cleaner?
I did later confirm that. Yes.
So when you sent this to police and said Kouri was lying, you were wrong.
I was wrong.
Okay.
But prior to Norma.
Your Honor.
You need to pause for the next question, sir. Thank you.
Very good.
Did law enforcement give you access to
So nothing happens?
to folders where you could access their information on like a subfolder where you had a link to their folder?
No.
Did you provide them with links to your folder?
Yes.
And one of the links you provided them involved a download of Eric's phone. Is that right?
No.
Okay. Did it involve the decoded call logs that you talked about earlier where you figured out everybody's number and name?
I'm confused. You're talking about two separate things. You were just talking about Eric's phone.
You said no, right?
I had an identical copy of Eric's phone that I created from the backup on his Apple iCloud. I may have turned that over to them, but they already had Eric's phone. I didn't need to give them what I had done, which was to trick the Apple server into repopulating a blank iPhone so that I could then forensically examine that iPhone and come up with context from Eric's phone. So I may have given them that information that I created from a clone of Eric's phone. Backup would be on the cloned phone. But all of the text messaging.
Little lady question, but explain to me why you didn't have access to his text if you downloaded everything off the cloud.
Listen, all of his texts.
Okay.
I don't believe I ever got all of his texts.
How far back did they go?
I don't recall the date at this time. I would have to refer to the file material to know the exact date of the first event on the phone.
So how much time did you spend reading through his text?
Well, I don't recall exactly. I could refer back to some records to come up with an answer for you.
What were you paid for that?
I don't know.
How much do you charge an hour?
$125 an hour.
Wait, he just say $125 an hour? That's it? Hold on.
However, 936.3 hours.
Is how many hours you billed total for the case?
Yep.
And what were you paid for that?
I don't know.
How much do you charge an hour?
$125 an hour. However,
$125 an hour? That's it? For a private investigator? This guy is the worst witness. He seems like a good witness for the state. What? So 936 hours of work times 100. I don't even know what that is. Let's say 1,000 times 100 is 100 grand. That's what, yeah. So he made about 100 grand off these people. That's what they paid him, huh? Well,
that is not the only billing rate in this case. When I used computer forensic software and my expertise in that regard, the rate would be higher. $200.
Was she really?
The discounted rate that I gave them.
So I'm really bad at math. Please forgive me if I get this wrong.
Yeah, well, we're both in the same place.
We're talking about over $100,000 you made on this case.
I would say so, yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to go back to that phone and you reading his text.
Yes.
Who cares?
As you were culling through your hypotheses, obviously one of the things you want to look at is the state of their marriage. Is that fair?
I mean, it's significant, but it's not dispositive.
I agree.
It's important context, but it's not evidence of anything, really. I see a lot of bad marriages out there. In my career, I've handled many hundreds of divorce cases. So, people have problems.
Did you review text messages between Eric and some of his friends?
Yes.
Did you review text messages between Eric and Bryce?
Bryce Knudsen?
Yes.
I don't recall specifically, but if they were there, I probably looked at them.
Okay. Your Honor, can I have just a moment?
This is wild. Hold on.
When you reviewed Eric's text, did you find evidence of him sexting with people other than Kouri?
What?
I don't recall that. I did investigate allegations of an affair with Eric.
Okay, but that's not my question. My question is, do you recall seeing sexting, as the kids say, on Eric's phone with people other than Kouri?
I don't really know what you mean by sexting. I don't know what the parameters of it
Oh,
are.
I know what you mean by sexting.
No.
I could be an expert on that. I could be an expert on that one. Explain sexting. Oh, well, how much time you got?
Did you find any texts where Eric talked about having an open marriage with Kouri?
I don't recall that.
At some point, were you investigating cases that were being prosecuted in the Summit County area around the time that Eric died, where people were caught distributing fentanyl?
Yes.
Did you gather affidavits from cases where fentanyl was being sold in the Summit County area?
Yes.
And did you ever follow up on any of those investigations, or did you just stop by gathering affidavits?
Well, they were plugged into the hypothesis testing matrix. I considered them for their proximity being in Summit County and for them involving fentanyl. In each of those cases, I found no relationship to this case.
Okay. I want to pull up TG2, Katie, just for this witness only. Sorry, I lied about the time. I'm going a little bit longer, Your Honor. I'm close to done.
No problem.
Sir, do you
you're
recognize
doing
that?
great. You're doing great.
Is that what you were talking about with Mr. Bloodworth, which is the decoding where you looked at his call records and tried to figure out who he was calling?
It is the record that I referred to when I was talking about it on direct. I agree with that.
And Katie, could we go to the page for the date 2/14/2022 at 14th at. All right, sir, we've blown up a section. Does that refresh your memory about what you determined a call that was made on December 14th at,
Give me the date one more time.
I'm sorry, February 14th, thank you, Your Honor, at 12:25 p.m.
Well, this is not a record that I created, but I recognize the format, and it appears to be that Eric Richins' phone had an incoming call at 12:25.
Can you look at the call right above that one?
This is an outgoing call from Eric Richins' phone on March the 9th of 2022. I'm sorry, February the 14th of 2022 at 12:23, 2 minutes before the first record that we talked about. And that is to a different number, 801-473-5058.
So as part of your investigation that you were doing on the mirror phone, you could at least identify a call that was made by Eric at 12:23 p.m. on February 14th, right?
I'm confused.
So what are you saying? He got drugs? Is that what they're getting at here? Eric was buying drugs in the middle of the night? Okay.
We're looking at an invoice record from a carrier, and you're asking me about his phone.
That's the day he died.
Those are two different things.
Did this invoice come from his phone?
No.
Billing records?
Wait, I missed the best part. What did I miss?
Right.
That's not a record.
Wait, what did I miss? Somebody said I missed the best part. What did I miss? Did I skip over something? Did I miss it? Let me know if I missed it.
From his phone. That's a record from his carrier.
Understand.
Two different things.
So according to the bill from his carrier, he made a call at 12:20.
Wait, Gay Jeff? How long ago? Should I go back? How long ago was this? I missed the best part. How did I miss it? I wasn't skipping it, was I? Go back to the sexting. Okay. I got to search the transcript for it now. Hold on. This is a function that they have now. You go to transcript, then you can search sexting. Doesn't come up. But texting.
I don't really know what you mean by sexting. I don't know what the parameters of that are. And so my answer is no.
Okay.
Was that it? With Bryce? Like, was it the part with Bryce? That's the first attempt. So keep going.
Did you find any texts where Eric talked about having an open marriage with Kouri?
I don't recall that.
It's at the end. It's after this.
At some point, were you investigating cases that were being prosecuted in the Summit County area around the time that Eric died on any of those investigations, or did you just stop by gathering the affidavits?
Well, they were plugged into the hypothesis testing matrix. I considered...
No problem. Sir, do you recognize that?
With that.
And Katie, could we go to the page? Made on December 14th at...
Give me the date one more time.
So, okay, you guys fucked.
Does that refresh your memory about what you determined?
We're going to stop listening to the chat. People are like, you missed it. I don't think I did.
A call that was made on December 14th at...
Give me the date one more time.
I'm sorry, February 14th. Thank you, Your Honor. At 12:25 p.m.
Killing me,
Well, it's not a
Steve.
record
Killing
I
me,
created,
dude.
But I recognize the format, and it appears to be that Eric Richins' phone had an incoming call at 12/20/22 at 12:23, 2 minutes before the first record that we talked about.
On February 14th, right?
I'm confused. We're looking at an invoice record from a carrier, and you're asking me about his phone. Those are two different things.
Did this invoice come from his phone?
No.
Billing records?
From his carrier, from Verizon.
Right.
That's not a record from his phone. That's a record from his carrier.
Understand.
Two different things.
So according to the bill from his carrier, he made a call at 12:23 p.m. on February 14th.
Correct.
Objection. There's a 901 problem here.
I'm done with it, Your Honor.
Hold on. You got to
I'm done?
for a moment, if you would.
Now what's going on? Okay. Who does she remind me of? She's off. She's a little. The sister's a little off. Something about her that just seems off. She reminds me of someone. I can't put my finger on it.
Investigation in this case. Did you ever make any calls or any trips
that's not the day.
to
That's
Mexico as
the
part of your
attempt.
investigation in
That's
this case?
That's right. She attempted it on Valentine's Day, and then he was killed. What, 3 weeks later, something like that? Yeah. What was the question?
Did you ever make any calls or any trips to Mexico as part of your investigation in this case?
No.
You mentioned you interviewed 45 to 50 people, somewhere around there, 40 to 50.
Yeah, that's an approximate number. I have no method of calculating that number. It's approximate based upon my memory.
Did you ever interview Kouri?
I did. I spoke to Kouri. She called me on January the 19th of 2023.
Really?
Right. And she voluntarily spoke to you
She called me.
Wow.
and talked to you voluntarily?
She did. And I stopped her. I told her it would be inappropriate and unethical for me to continue the conversation outside the presence of her lawyer. I then texted her lawyer and had a phone call with her lawyer about the propriety of her client speaking without her presence.
Okay.
I then requested that Kouri submit to an interview multiple times.
All right, stop.
Okay.
Don't reveal what anyone else said to you.
Okay.
The point is, Kouri called you to talk to you and tell you her side, right?
I don't know what her intentions were. She seemed very angry that I had contacted one of her business associates. I believe that was the reason she called me on that date.
Okay. And so you never to this day have sat down with Kouri and heard her version of what happened?
No, despite my repeated requests.
Okay. She called you.
And I was bound by the ethics not to talk to her outside the presence of her lawyer.
This is
She was
not
a litigant.
going well.
She sued my client.
Okay. And ultimately, as you were working with the trust, did you become
Wait.
aware that the trust filed?
She sued them? I don't know shit about this story. She sued the Richins family for the trust. I know that Eric made her sign a prenup. So that was smart on his part. Sounds like a healthy marriage. Although everyone should sign a prenup, you know, it really should. But anyway, so that's interesting.
Wrongful death suit against Kouri.
I am.
And are you aware they're seeking over $10 million in damages against Kouri Richins?
I didn't know that. It's irrelevant to me.
Okay.
It's irrelevant.
Okay, court's
3 days after his death, she sued him. Oh my God. That's crazy, bro.
Open relationship, and you said you.
So they must have known right away she did this.
I asked you whether you recalled seeing any texts with Eric about him and Kouri having an open relationship, and you said you could not recall. Is that right?
Correct.
Can you put that up on the screen, Katie? Do you recall looking at that text?
I do.
You've seen this one?
Why is he
I
laughing?
believe I have. It's a joke.
It's a joke.
It is. It appears to me to be a joke.
Did you see the text around this text?
I did.
So you have reviewed the text between Eric and Bryce.
I don't know. I don't know that this is a text from Bryce. I have no idea. This does not identify Bryce.
So
Doesn't
now that
identify anybody.
now that you have your
Bryce.
memory refreshed, do you remember seeing this text between Eric and another individual saying that Kouri and I are starting an open relationship tonight? Right?
It says, Kouri and I are starting an open relationship tonight, so I told her I'm taking you home.
Right.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a joke. Tell me they're not going to say this is real. Tell me that her defense is not that a text message between Eric and Bryce in which he says, Kouri is letting me have an open relationship, so I'm taking you home tonight is real. Tell me that's not her defense right now.
Okay. You left that out of your report.
No, this would be part of my report.
Did you see sexting between Bryce
Sexting?
and Eric when you looked at their texts?
I don't recall that, no.
Katie?
And is this sexting? I don't know what you mean.
No, I'm not talking.
Was there a dick pic? If not, it's not sexting. Did he tell Bryce that he wants to see his big fat fucking cock? Did he tell him that? Give me that. Show me that dick right now. No? Did that happen? You better. I want to see you come right fucking now. Did he say that? Did he say that? Then it's not sexting, is it? That's not. That's a joke.
About this one, not about other ones.
All right. I don't recall. I'm talking about many hundreds of thousands of messages in this case. I can't recall them all.
Let's see. Just a moment.
It's like I'm like they should call Turtleboy as the sex. We're calling Fridge Daddy in as the sexting consultant here. He's going to determine if this is sexting. Your Honor, this isn't even close. This is not even. You can't even come to this. What am I supposed to do with this, Your Honor? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? I can't even get a hard on reading these messages. Never mind, finish. What am I supposed to do with these messages, Your Honor? So absolutely not. Not even close. Not even close.
Court's indulgence for just a moment. Do you remember seeing a whole bunch of emails like this or texts like this between Eric and Bryce?
Honestly, no, I don't remember. Like I say, there were hundreds of thousands of messages in this case. I don't remember even 1% of them. As I look at this, I mean, it just makes me laugh. It doesn't appear to be serious.
So how many of these joke sextings did you review that Eric did?
I don't understand this to be sexting. I think you're wrong about that. I resist your characterization.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Two friends joking.
Does she really not know what sexting is? She thinks that's she's kidding, right? Sexting? Oh my God. Oh my God. This woman's, oh my God. She's driving in the Sahara Desert. This woman, you could tell. You could tell. She's never sexted before in her life. I could tell. Good God.
With each other. That's what I'm reading here.
And they did that all the time?
I don't know.
Hundreds of times?
If I had the records, and then I could answer your question, but I don't remember all of these messages. And yeah, this is a joke.
Did you review all of the text between Bryce and Eric?
I think at one time I would have gone through every single text message that was available to me on Eric's cloned phone. So
Utah.
Do I recall it? Well, I mean, I recall that it was a bit mind-numbing. There was a lot there. Nothing particularly stuck out in my mind or memory about those messages.
Did they repeatedly talk about having sex acts together?
I don't recall.
Did they repeatedly talk about oral sex together?
I don't recall.
Did they talk about anal sex together?
Also don't recall.
But you read them all.
I'm sure that I did.
And it's all joking.
What do you mean talked about anal sex? Okay, so did Eric say to Bryce, oh man, I can't wait to feel that big, fat, throbbing fucking dick right in my ass. It's gonna feel so fucking good. And did Bryce say backwards, like, oh, here? Did he say, show me that dick right now? Did he say that? And did Bryce say, here it is, here it is. Oh, and it's fucking glory. You're gonna take this shit like a fucking good boy, aren't you? Huh? Did he say that? Then it's not sexting, okay? What are you talking about? Talking about anal sex? What do you mean? What do you mean? What are they talking?
Knowing what I know about Bryce and Eric, yeah, that's how I interpret it.
So you do remember reading things of this nature and you interpreted it all as joking?
No, as I sit here today, I interpret it that way. I would have interpreted it that way back at my original reading of it. That doesn't mean I recall it. It means I have an opinion about what I thought then. That's different.
And what did you think then? They were joking?
No. What I think now is that this was a joke. I do not have a recollection of this at the time that I first read it. But if I had a recollection of that time, I'm sure it would be the same as it is today.
And if there were these tens of 20s of 50s of these types of emails, all of them would be jokes?
Yeah, show us. Like, how do you not show the screenshots? How do you not show the screenshots? Like, if you're going to do sexting, show us the screenshots and let the jury decide if it's sexting. That was so weak.
But with anything further from Mr. Gabler?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. The text. There are a bunch of to-dos locker room talk from August of 2018.
That was my read of it, yes.
Locker room talk, okay.
There wasn't any serious read that Eric Richins and Bryce Knudsen were engaged in some homosexual affair.
Zero.
In all of the text messages you reviewed, did you see any evidence of Eric using illicit street drugs?
Okay, suppose he was gay with Bryce too. What does that have to do with the fact that he died from a fentanyl overdose?
No, I looked and I could not find.
You mentioned legal requirements for a licensed private investigator to place a GPS tracker on a car. What are those legal requirements?
So the statute governing that was adopted a few years ago. It requires that before placing a device, a licensed private investigator must
it's so true.
It's
so true, Melanie.
Persons that are driving that vehicle and potentially the owner of that vehicle, and that they submit a request to query the protected persons database in the state of Utah for any record of those persons that are subject to the GPS tracking. That is designed to keep us from tracking people who have protective orders or temporary restraining orders or other lawful processes that define them as a protected person. We cannot track you in that circumstance. We do not have independent access to that database. So we must ask an agency of the state for a yay or nay. Is this person in the protected persons database? We have to do that before we place a device. We have to be certain that we are not tracking a protected person. So I submitted those requests to the appropriate counties of the jurisdictions where I placed these devices. The Summit County Sheriff's Office initially declined my request under the statute. I insisted. I finally got them to comply. I did the same with the Wasatch County Sheriff's Office, and they complied with my request.
Did you conduct your investigation entirely?
This guy is unimpeachable.
Within the bounds of the law?
I believe I did.
Did you conduct your investigation entirely within the ethical bounds of private investigators and the attorneys you were working for in this case?
I believe that I did.
Thank you, sir.
Is there anything further for Mr. Gabler?
No, Your Honor.
May we release this witness?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time. Please step safely. You are free to go, sir.
Thank you.
Well, that went well. That went well. So the gay Jeff did it. Okay. Look at this guy.
Mr. Bloodworth, is this an appropriate time to recess for the day?
It is, Your Honor.
Ms. Nestor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be recessing for the evening. As always, please do not speak about the case.
You're right. The Kouri defense really spoiled us. The case spoiled us. It's just like, that's what happens. That's the kind of cross you get when the defendant's guilty, huh? Okay. This is why I don't really watch that many true crime. I'll just watch the sentencing. The sentencing was the best part. But all right, cool. Let me read some turtle chats here to end the night before a big day tomorrow of mega fundraiser. Let's do it. Let's see if we got any more turtle chats or people are saving up for tomorrow. We'll see. We got anti-TBDS. Sends $20, goes, Jen Altman pops other people's pimples without their permission. I did notice Joe Flipper had started that today. Jen Altman says stuff, which was pretty funny. Now, you guys, there was a, I was at my kid's soccer game and I got alerted to like this whole, like the spaces. People are like, oh, Naniel's doing a spaces right now. And your ex is on there who shall not be named. And who else? Twisted Tragedies. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to hear any of that. I'm proud that like I said, I listened when I watched the Chat Rats today and when I watched Will, because I watched them. I support content creators. And all I heard was Naniel talking about herself. And the bottom line is, like, if you ever find yourself, like, if your peer group includes Twisted Tragedies, who is a joke, who is was a literal homeless person living in a migrant shelter who owed over $50,000 in back rent. $50,000. Just never paid a rent. Just as ratchet gets. Hasn't worked in years. Neither is her fucking boyfriend. Just the biggest joke ever. Life is not going very well. All right. And maybe you should like reevaluate your life. Like if that's what you think life is all about on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It was like beautiful today. And I'm out there and I'm like, I'm watching my kids' soccer games and I'm hearing about this shit. And I'm like, yeah, you know who wanted to come to my kids' soccer games? Exactly. And here I am now enjoying them. And so I will not be listening at all. I will not be. My son almost scored his first goal today. He is not a big kid, my son. He's the littlest guy on his team all the time. He's 4'2". We're growing. And he tried his best. He's a couple close calls there. They got beat. He's not on a very good team. We'll see, but he's going to keep at it. He's tough, though. He's the toughest kid on the team. Tries his best. So I don't care about. That's what I do on Saturday afternoons. I don't give a fuck about. I don't listen to 10-hour-long spaces and shit like that. I don't listen to that shit. So other people might, and I'll catch the recap and we'll laugh at them. But if you thought you were going to tune in tonight, we're going to play some sort of recap of that. That will not be happening because I don't give a fuck about them. Right? They can sit there and whatever. And I mean, Naniel is so boring anyway. It's just like, dude, okay. So she's just going to talk about herself for hours. I mean, I couldn't think of a less interesting person than Nancy Gallagher. Okay. No, like I couldn't think of a person with less to say than her, who just is addicted to the sound of her own voice. That's it. That's it. So that's that. All right. Next. Kim from Texas sends $10, goes, tell us what you plan to crock pot in the morning for your meals throughout the day. So I'm only going to, so I'll probably eat a lunch right before the show starts. I might even be eating during that, right? I'll snack here and there. And then probably around 3, maybe right before the Yannetti interview, I'll throw in I'm making buffalo chicken in the crock pot, right? I'm throwing some buffalo chicken in there. It's really simple. Buffalo chicken, some chicken, buffalo sauce, and ranch seasoning. And then after a couple hours, it'll be nice. And you just got to tear it apart. You got to pull it. You know what I mean? You pull buffalo chicken. And then we'll take that. And by 6 or so, I'll have the chicken. Chicken will be done. And then I'll throw some nachos in. So I'll take some chips, smash them up. Throw the chicken in there with some salsa, some sour cream, and some cheese. And dinner is served. And that's it. That's dinner. It's going to be great. Yeah, not cream cheese. No, not cream cheese. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. All right, next. Ranch seasoning. It's good. It's good. You put it comes out real nice. All right, next. Anna sends $10, goes, guys, should we tell him that his daughter has definitely already Googled him or nah? Yeah, probably has. So I guess it's time for the talk. You got to get to them before the bad guys do. You got to let them know. It's, you knew you were going to come to this conversation someday. And you just got to get to them. Like, look here's the deal. You know how we go out all the time and people want to take pictures of me? And you know how, like, sometimes we go out to breakfast and stuff like that, and people just pay for our food, like it happens and stuff like that. Here's why, okay? Here's why. And it just sucks because you have to have the conversation about, like, well, sometimes the police are the bad guys. And I never wanted to have that conversation with them because I don't want them not to trust the police. Because it's not healthy not to trust the police. And that's what really sucks. And Michael Proctor has betrayed all of us. He has betrayed the children. That's what he has. He has betrayed the children, because now everywhere parents have to have a conversation with their kids about how police can't necessarily be trusted. And that's a lot for kids to wrap their heads around because they don't get it. And they're like, well, so you got to explain it to them. Like, yeah, police are good. Police aren't bad. Police are just people. Okay. And sometimes bad people become police, and that's really messed up when they do that. And so, they don't want to hear about Karen Reed. I tell them about Karen Reed. They have fucking zero interest in it. They get it. They're like, that's still going on. What? That's why the whole Daily Blaze thing is so offensive and so fake. Cause I have kids that age. They don't give a fuck. They don't care about Karen Reed. They're just like, they don't want to hear about it at all. Like, and it's like morbid having that discussion with them, attempting to, and I'm like, this is depressing. Like, I don't want to talk about this with them. You know what I mean? I don't want their kids. I don't want to talk about Michael Proctor with them and his text messages and like planning taillight and stuff. It's not age appropriate. I don't know. So, we're going to have that convo. All right, next. Erica in Dallas Stevens sends $10, goes, ProTube. YouTube doesn't only host award-winning independent journalist videos. You can find the best and short tutorials for how to care for my outdoor pool. It's time to earn the name Pool Boy Daddy. I like that one. Yes, I have been watching some. They come up in my algo. So you're right. I do need to watch more YouTube videos on that. Thank you. Next. Peter sends $10, goes, G'day, Turtle. Can't wait until tomorrow. Hope you raise a truckload of dollars. That's great advice on let bygones be bygones. I might adopt that one myself. Hey, how about you get Sean of the Gulf from Going Through the Motions? That would be an absolute crack up. Cheers, buddy. From Peter from Sydney. Is he still around? What's he up to these days? I haven't heard from Sean of the Gulf forever. All right, next. Robert sends $102. That's a random number, but I'll take it. And just says, keep rolling. I will do just that, Robert. I appreciate that. Thank you for the $102. Really appreciate that. We got Tara sends $12. It goes, hi, Dr. Turtleboy. Much love to you for everything you do and for being authentic. Did you know that Kouri Richins is represented by Kathy Nestor, the same attorney as Tyler Robinson? I do. By the way, only time I've ever felt offended by you is when you called the Seahawks mediocre in 2024. Well, they were. Not 2025, but it was either during or that was the one we played them, or around the time I was watching you vigorously protest about Chicken Parm Charlie in front of his pizza shop. So I was too busy laughing to worry about it. May you win all your cases like the Seahawks world champs. Go Hawks. Okay. A little soon, but we're opening night. We're going to get you guys back, and we're going to start. And we're going to get AJ Brown, maybe even Steph Diggs. We're going to have a good time next year. We'll be back. And Mike Vrabel. Fuck all that shit. I'm so glad he survived that bullshit. It's so stupid. I don't give a fuck. Who cares who Mike Vrabel's fucking? Who cares? Since when do NFL players or coaches have to pass purity tests? It's so stupid. Who cares? Yeah, the whole thing is weird. It's been going on for years. None of this is my business. I don't care. Let's play football. Let's go. Thank you. All right. Let me see if we have any cash apps here. All right. Amy has sent a few here. She says, $10. She goes, SOB, you could get him more trouble just saying "gen." Okay, don't know what that means, Amy. Thanks. Sends another $5. It goes, oh my God, do you know about the boyfriend, the hush pup? I don't know what you're talking about. Amy sends $20 and goes, AR to CT road trip. Grateful for you for 12 hours of it. Okay. Thank you very much, Amy. I appreciate that. All right. Anybody else here? All right. So read some member stuff here. Okay. We got Cassie Baby says, my dad had the same surgery. He literally needs help holding his head up. The pain in Todd's in his. Yeah, he looked like he was in pain the whole time. But what a witness he was, huh? Misty says, happy birthday to my sister from another Mr. Laura. Love you bunches. Happy birthday to you, Laura. We love you. Karen Harris Makeup says, Turtle Boy, can you get Spencer Pratt? I feel like your personalities would be great together. I think he's a little busy running for mayor right now, so I don't think that's going to happen. So thank you. KY Heather says, did we send Jimmy an alarm? He disappears. He's well aware of the spaces. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about it. Kelly sends, or is a member for 5 months, and says, excited for tomorrow's lineup. Free Turtle Boy, aren't we all? That's a Rat House Media says, what's the difference between jelly and jam? Oh, I know the answer to that one. I can't jelly my cock down your throat, can I, there, Rat House Media? But I can jam it. I can definitely jam it. So there's that. Vintage gives one Turtle Boy membership. That's great. Thank you. MJ says, let's focus on the fundraiser tomorrow. Let's fucking go. Absolutely. And Nikki Nurse is a new member. Welcome aboard. Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Anyway, I am going to go. Oh, happy birthday. You turned 40 yesterday. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. It's all downhill from here. No, it's okay. It's cool. All right, guys. I'm going to go hit the hay. Can't wait to see you guys at noon tomorrow. It's going to be dope, man. 12 hours of Turtle Boy coming at you with the most action-packed lineup ever. Let's raise a shit ton of fucking money for the Turtleboy Legal Defense Fund. Let's go get these fuckers. Let's go. Love you guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. And don't forget to brush your teeth. All right? Peace to your bum crease. Outie.
Top down, riding down Main. It's a clear night. Screens glowing blue. Got the facts in my headlights. Commonwealth tripping, but the truth stay calm. Morrissey and Lally, I'ma read them like Psalms. KP throwing shade from a broke down porch, but the files in my lap like a flame to a torch. I don't raise my voice, I just let the game speak. Steady with the grind while the crooked run weak. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city block. Still can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just ride a slow grind. Midnight oil burning, pen hit the pad slow. Every word cut clean like the rims on the 6-4. From Boston to Brockton, the whispers all hum. Turtle boys riding in the reckoning gon' come. Lally in the back room, Morrissey on the phone. Trying to twist the narrative, but they can't postpone. I'm just sipping on the facts while the city play pretend. True, got no curfew, I'ma run it to the end. See, this ain't about fame. This about that long game. You can duck, you can weave, but the truth still call your name. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no